Oh, so lucky. I thought my computer was frozen for a couple of minutes, and then I was like, hey, today is not the day to freeze on me. Today is the worst day to do that. I don't know how long the stream is going to be because I really want to start from the beginning. I want to take everyone on a little journey, starting from the first Assassin's Creed. I know the reason why we're here is a lot of shit's been happening with Ubisoft and a lot of talk, and this day was coming for a very long time. I have been a fan of the Assassin's Creed series for a very long time. Hello, Drake, welcome back. And hopefully you guys are a fan too. But the recent installments have not quite hit the mark ever since they made that RPG transition. Yes, it has opened the world up to a larger audience, but that audience isn't really me. I mean, I like RPGs like most people, but Assassin's Creed is kind of all over the place. They haven't hit the mark. They have taken us for a weird journey, and it's been a lot of ups and downs, more downs than anything, which is why they've been given a lot of shit. Are the Assassin's Creed games absolute shit? No, they're not absolute shit, but they're not as good as they make them out to be. Like, Ubisoft is just notorious for saying, hey, we've got an amazing game. This game is going to be like game of the year, and it comes out and it's a letdown. There's bugs, which is, Ubisoft just has so many bugs when they release their freaking games. Everyone knows, as soon as you play a Ubisoft game, expect the bugs straight up. That's just the way they've done it. It's so disappointing. I think if anything, Ubisoft has been disappointing. So I want to take everyone back on a little journey. We're gonna start from the beginning. I mean, we're gonna lead up to Assassin's Creed Shadows, which, let's be clear, I have played every Assassin's Creed installment except for Shadows, just because I don't want to pay full price for a okay game. That's the way I roll. If a game's not amazing, I'm not going to purchase the 100, 130 bucks for a game that's okay. It's a waste of money. Just give me a discount, 50% off, and yeah, I'll buy it. And there's nothing wrong with playing 7 out of 10 games, 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10. It's got to be very niche game for me to get into and have a very charismatic vibe to it. But other than that, no thank you. I don't want to go there. But if you have not played any of the Assassin's Creed games, let's take you all on a journey, because this is one of those games, or there's just so much heartache in talking about this. This is, I mean, we are talking about different currencies, so this is in New Zealand dollars. So if you basically take a third of that away, and that's US dollars, so it's like a $90 game. Ain't nobody gonna be paying for that. So let's jump into it. Let me take you on the first thing. This is the trailer for Assassin's Creed, the original one, which I believe came out in 2001. It was a very long time. I played this on the PC. That's how old it was. Let's go. This is iconic AC. If they didn't, screw everything over. Oop. Off. This is my favourite part. Assassin's Creed. This is years old. Years. Yeah. 1080p too.
Big
Amazing.
Don't want you to have
Oh no, sorry, I don't want this crap. I don't want none of that. So that game was like the first trailer. This was the first installment of Assassin's Creed. You didn't play... You're into... Okay, so you did a switcheroo. Drake there, you did a switcheroo. But yeah, this is the first installment. It was... I wouldn't consider it to be like the most amazing game out there, but at the time when this came out, I was young. It was only on the PC at the time. So thinking, you know, an actual case, an actual CD, playing this, I had played this via my brother-in-law, who wasn't my brother-in-law at the time. And we played it multiple times. It was an outstanding game for the time that it was. There was things about it that you could absolutely hate, but it was there. And so I'm just going to quickly go through some of the story because I am not
This is Desmond Miles.
great at explaining some of this.
Trapped against his will to perform a task he knows nothing about.
Original
it's 2012.
Halo.
Abstergo Industries have no right to hold him. They're a corporate company, famous for their pharmaceutical products, but beneath that facade hides a collective with evil intent. What do they want with Desmond?
So let's just skip through this first.
Desmond grew up in the farm. Race
Yeah,
91.
okay,
the Holy
let's,
Land.
this is
War
what we want to know.
ravaged King
The
Richard's
gameplay.
Crusades.
Let's
For
just put
Altair, there are
Desmond
fortresses
aside for a second.
connected by the barren lands of the Kingdom of Heaven.
This is what it
Damascus,
looked like.
Acca, Jerusalem, and Masyaf, home to the assassins and their leader Al-Mualim. It was Al-Mualim that sent Altair and two
For me
fellow
at the time,
assassins,
this
Malik
game
and his
looked
brother
amazing.
Qadar, on a mission to Jerusalem to retrieve a treasure.
I would not have taken the life of an innocent. Follow the creed.
It matters not how we complete our task, only that it's done.
But this is not the way of...
My way is better. Robert de Saab, his life is mine.
Do not compromise the Brotherhood.
And what is it you want?
So the great thing about Assassin's Creed is they had more of a... I'm going to have difficulty. Philosophical approach to the sort of game. They had their creed, they had a belief. Everything was well thought out. They had the environment. It was just so well set up that you could actually believe this was a real person. It almost felt like they sort of took historical moments and were like, we're going to make a little bit of a game out of it and put a twist to it. But it had a bit of depth to it. And I think that's why this game worked so well, is that their creed was a belief. It was a religion in a sense, and it was so strong. The force is strong with this one.
I spare you only that you may return to your master and deliver a message. The Holy Land is lost to him and his.
Altair's arrogance not only led to the failure of their mission, but his fellow assassins were seemingly doomed. Altair returns to Masyaf to face the wrath of Al-Mualim.
Do not speak, not another word.
To compound his shame, Malik arrives having retrieved the treasure, but he returns injured and mourning his brother. He also reports that Robert de Saab is not far behind. Altair's reprimand can wait. The assassins do what they can to defend the city, but soon retreat to the castle.
Return what you have stolen!
So basically, Altair, which they sort of skimmed over, is a little bit like he's a high tier assassin, but he made a mistake, got people killed, and so what happens after this is he gets reprimanded in such a way that they pretty much put him at the lowest rank and go, you know what, you can do the plebe missions and you've got to sort of rebuild that trust. And that sort of is how you sort of start to learn to be the assassin that he is. Altair is the first assassin in this whole series. He's like the pinnacle of everything.
Go to God!
A leap of faith that has fooled Desab's men. Altair flanks them and springs the trap that ends the siege. But this is not enough to undo Altair's transgressions against the Order.
We are nothing if we do not abide by the Assassin's creed. 3 simple tenets. Stay your blade. Hide in plain sight. The 3rd and final tenet. Never compromise the Brotherhood.
Altair contravened all of these, and all that has happened to Masyaf is due to that.
Peace be upon you, Altair.
He's executed as a traitor. But this was just the power of suggestion, a warning to Altair, carrying with it a punishment.
All in his
You
mind.
see you have been stripped of your possessions, your rank as well.
To earn his rank back and the favour of Al-Mualim, he is given a task, a list of 9 names, the death of which will aid in the ending of the Crusade and march the Holy Lands towards peace.
So that there is sort of the prologue. So once you go through, you get stripped down to your bottom rank. That's your start into this game, where you start working your way up. You regain your weapons, you regain your skills that was taken from you. You start doing little missions, and as he mentioned, you have 9 names that you gotta, or people that you gotta take out, and this takes you throughout the course of Assassin's Creed. Take out these 9, and, you know, there should be no quarries, no war, we should take out the enemy. And these are sort of 9 high-ranking, I guess, officials, or what they are called as the Templar. So that would be the opposing group to the Brotherhood.
Altair must do this single-handedly, not with the help of his juniors. He must travel to the various cities.
Best
do
part
his
of the
own
game has
legwork,
been
his own research,
blending in
listening
plain
patiently on the
sight.
streets, using sleight of hand to attain knowledge, chasing down those with information on how to best take out these warmongers that plague these lands. After he has done this, he must ask permission from the Assassin's Bureau to carry out his plan. Altair must swallow his pride and become
Very
a
prideful.
novice again.
He had
starts
to
this in
break him
Damascus
down.
with the weapons dealer, Tamir.
So Altair basically had to be broken down and then rebuilt back up into a great assassin. Just because of some of the choices he made, come a little bit more humble. He, at the start of the game, is very arrogant, and then later on you sort of learn, you're like, oh yes, still arrogant, but, you know, hopefully less people die.
Altair has done his research. He knows the evil of this man. He is sure it is Tamir's time to die.
Here you go, first target done.
But I serve a far nobler cause than mere profit, just like my brothers.
Brothers, you've done well, Altair, and I'm confident that this is but the first of many successes. Go now, either to Akka or Jerusalem.
In those cities, he sees to the death of 2 more evil men. Garnier de Naplouse, a crusader who drives people to madness testing his herbal concoctions, but in the planning of this kill, Altair uncovers a connection. A cooperation between Garnier, a crusader, and Tamir, a Saracen, and the man he was about to kill, Talal. Providing the test subjects for Garnier was Talal. Why would enemies be working together?
I took them not to sell, but to save.
You truly believe you were helping them?
It's not what I believe. It's what I know.
So what they're actually referring to when these enemies know each other is what I was just talking about, which is this other group, the Templars. They are essentially sort of these people that are maybe working in different cities, but they have a alternative goal to the Brotherhood, or they have slightly opposing ideas. And these Templars tend to be in high-ranking positions within the society of the Assassin's Creed world. And Altair is basically going around and he's like, I've got these names, I'm going to start killing them one by one. But he's piecing together a sort of a story, telling him is like, something's up and I need to find out why these people know each other. And hence you go on missions, you steal from people, pickpocket, and you find out as much as you can before you hit your target. And each time you take down a target, you go back to, I think it was Al Muhammad, and you go like, Sire, I have killed this man. Now give me the next mission, and you're going to different cities as you do so. But
why are these men not remorseful? They speak
it's
as
very
if their
story
work had
rich.
a higher purpose than just profit. And why were they
There's the
testing on
iconic
these
feather as
subjects?
well.
What were they working towards? On his deathbed, Garnier reveals the name of the treasure currently residing in Masyaf.
I admit, without the piece of Eden, which you stole from us, my progress was slowed.
You've done well. 3 of the 9 lay dead.
Altair is slowly regaining the respect of his brothers. The grandiosity that clouded his judgment is lifting, and he returns to Masyaf to continue the work of his cause. His master provides more names.
Majduddin, Regent of Jerusalem.
Your work here is finished.
No! No! It had only just begun!
William of Montferrat.
So you're going
Lord
through,
of Acre.
slashing them.
I did to prepare them for the new world.
Abun Dukud, the wealthiest man in Damas.
Is it so different from your own work? A minor evil for a greater good? We are the same.
The connection
Are
between
we?
these seemingly disparate men was now undeniable. They speak of a brotherhood.
You cannot stop us. We will have our new
Us.
world.
He needs to know more.
Who are they?
These men are connected by a blood oath not unlike our own. Non nobis, domine non nobis.
Templars.
Now
There we
you
go.
see the true reach of Robert de Sable.
Robert de Sable is the linchpin of the secret society, the Grand Master of the Knights Templar.
What do they desire?
Conquest. They seek the Holy Land not in the name of God, but for themselves. That is why we do our work, Altair, to ensure a future free of such things.
But why do they need this piece of Eden, this apple, this treasure that Al-Mualim guards so caringly in Masyaf Castle?
He
What
looks
is
like
this
he was
treasure?
stopped.
It is temptation.
He was. He's
He
dead.
who holds it commands the hearts and minds of whoever looks upon it.
New
Oh,
copper kit
bro.
and deep ridge chips.
You don't need none of this crap.
Inspired by nature.
I ain't paying him
with
for
deep
premium either.
ridges.
Sorry, guys.
Out of the machine, Mr. Miles. Miss Stillman is once again.
So yeah, you're going through, you've just been introduced to the Templars. So as Altair, this is the first Assassin's Creed introduces you to the Brotherhood, Altair, which is more or less the ancestor of every single assassin that comes after him, as well as obviously you got the Brotherhood, the Templars, and then there is the main assassin that you are, Altair. He pretty much branches off in every Assassin's Creed game that follows. Essentially, they're all descendants from Altair. That's just how the game works. It will sort of be explained a little bit later. And why I'm saying this now is this here is Desmond Miles. He is a descendant of Altair, which is why he's able to go into a machine, which is what they call the Animus, and relive the memories of his ancestors, which is what Assassin's Creed is all about. You have someone, they go into an Animus, they relive these memories, and that's what you're playing. You're playing this ancestor. So let's see if this fella can
Insisting I let you
explain
rest.
it better than I can.
Desmond's time in the Animus has gleaned much, but nothing Abstergo did not already know. Lucy is continually worried about Desmond's prolonged exposure to this machine and champions regular breaks. Warren Vidic needs results from Desmond. Time for him and Abstergo are running out. Desmond is Abstergo's 17th subject. The subject that came before him, subject 16, he suffered. The eagle vision that Animus facilitated along with the genetic...
So to go back to Desmond Miles, he has been kidnapped and taken to this facility by Abstergo, which is more or less, I would say, is like a research company where they basically take people and be like, you know what, we're going to shove you into this machine. You're going to give us all the information that we can get out of your ancestors' memories so that we can find whatever, that we need to find, which I'll explain a little bit later. And so Desmond is pretty much a prisoner for them to get information.
Genetic memories of his ancestors merge with his time outside of the Animus and gradually
Oh,
drove him
bro,
insane.
don't mention the movie.
Lucy
The movie's
does
bad.
not want this
It's-
to happen to Desmond.
That little fight your ancestors started during the Third
Like, it's-
Crusade, it never ended.
I know the movie was.
You're being held
I know
by
they're
Templars,
trying, but the
and
movie was kind of
Abstergo
like,
is their
eh.
company.
The battle between the Assassins and Templars has been going on for
Yes,
centuries,
the
and
apple.
is still going on. But at present, the balance has monumentally tipped in favour of the Templars, and Abstergo's hold over the world is nearly complete. But just like
graphics
almost
on this
1,000
are
years prior, they are
amazing.
looking for divine assistance.
The artifact from Messiah, they had it. It was destroyed in the accident.
Then what are they hoping for me? You know, for my
Just the
ancestors
character
to tell me?
models. It
They're
just makes
hoping
me
you'll
laugh.
show them where the other ones are.
You mean there's more than one of these things?
With the apple destroyed in the present day, their plans were put on hold, but the apple in Masyaf may help them find more. In order to create their new world, they need the piece of
Look at
Eden
this
to
here.
submit their philosophy.
Order, Mr.
detail.
Miles. The world needs order. That is what we're working towards, and that is what you're helping us to achieve. Your ancestors almost had the right idea, Mr. Miles. They didn't go far enough. There's no true change to be had without comprehensive, systemic intervention.
Both the Assassins and the Templars' goal is peace. Only the method is disputed by the Assassins.
I guess the best way to explain it is what they want
Yeah,
is good.
there we go.
But the way they're going about it, it's bad.
I did like it back then. It was it was
There
good
are two
graphics
more
back
Templars
then.
who require your attention.
What I do for Acre!
One in Akka, known as Sibran.
Here we go.
Join them!
One in Damas, called Jubair.
Do any
Yeah, you're dead too.
challenge me?
What
There
is
you
the
go.
truth?
We see the world the
He's
way it
dead
really
too.
is.
What is the world, then?
An illusion. One which we can either submit to, as most do, or transcend.
Do you see now why the Templars are a threat?
Whereas we would dispel the illusion, they would use it to rule.
With 8 men slain, only the Hydra's head remains, Robert de Saab. Like he has done for all his kills.
So you can see the dialogue on this is very political, which is why it's such a great game, because it actually sort of brings in these two different opposing groups that are like, you know what, we're searching for peace, which is the Brotherhood. It's about trying to bring peace even though they kill people, but basically they kill people that are like in power, abusing others and all that shenanigan stuff. And the Templars, although they sort of want peace, their way of doing it is to take power and ensure peace the more sort of violent and aggressive way.
Altair studied the land to get a bearing on how to bring down his final target. Word has it that Robert will be attending a funeral for Majdadin. He infiltrates, and de Saab is for the taking. But it's a trap. Guards descend, but Altair overcomes and gets his man. Except he doesn't, because it's not de Saab, but a decoy.
It's a
woman
decoy,
named
a woman.
Maria.
We knew you'd come. Robert needed to be sure he'd have time to get away.
Altair spares her a decision he will.
So, to answer your question, you do kill all these players. This moment here, when you got sort of like this futuristic sort of, what do you call it, memory looking thing, this is after you've taken their life and you sort of have this movie sequence where they talk and they're like, you know, spill their guts and be like, ha, you may have killed me, but the Brotherhood, well, the Templars will live on, and I am just a cog in this massive clock. That's pretty much what goes on here. So obviously Altair thought he'd killed the last person. She was just a decoy, and he's got one more person he still needs to take down. And it's only these 9 people that you're allowed to take down. I believe in game, if you tried to kill a civilian, like just a random person on the street, I think if you keep attacking them, it desynchronizes your game, and it's kind of like you failed, and it'll just reset you in the game and be like, don't kill civilians. That's not the way. That is not the way.
One day be glad of.
The Brotherhood. This is the way.
There's no time. She told me where he's gone, what he plans.
Robert de Saab's plan is to unite the warring factions, the Crusaders and the Saracens, to a common aim to defeat the Assassins. Altair rides for Arsuf, fights his way through the armies to meet again with the Grand Master of the Knights Templar, Robert de Saab. Altair, this time, a changed man.
Yeah, so you're fighting the last guy here.
Himself and his creed in truth.
Unfortunately, it doesn't show you a lot of fighting or
first meeting, Altair conquers,
gameplay in this video.
He betrayed you, boy.
And then once you kill him, you have your little chat.
9 men he sent you to kill, yes? It wasn't 9 who found the treasure, assassin, but 10.
Give me his name.
Al-Mualim.
I said his name wrong earlier.
Would not tell him. Altair races back to Masyaf. He had been manipulated to do Al-Mualim's bidding all the time, placing the Holy Land in his hands. Now to control omnipotently.
I said get up, goddammit!
Get up, Desmond!
Oh no, they're coming for you. Assassins. Sounds like they're mounting some kind of rescue attempt.
Whatever's going on down there has got nothing to do with me.
Here, have a listen.
So in the real world,
the assassins out there have dwindled to almost nothing. They can't.
There's
save
still
Desmond,
assassins and Templars, still looking for the same thing.
The person that tipped the assassins off about where Desmond is.
I am screwed, okay? What do you want me to do?
Just try and have a little faith.
Lucy has been protecting Desmond as best she can. She is a prisoner too. But what Abstergo don't know is that she's an assassin. But Abstergo are on the.
I don't know if you saw that. I'll go back to that.
Time. But what Abstergo
have a little faith.
See that? Her finger? That's the indication that she's an assassin. Yeah, you had it right, Drac. There's no great storyline like some betrayal and treachery. So you see this lady? Finger gone? That's Assassin's Creed. You will have noticed, I don't know if you picked up on it on the trailer we watched, Altair has the same thing, missing finger, gone. So the reason why they cut that off is that their hidden blade, you know, it's to make things easier when they use their hidden blade. In the later games, they sort of changed this around so they don't have to do that anymore, which is where Leonardo
has been protecting
da Vinci comes along.
She is a prisoner too.
We'll get to that.
What Abstergo don't know is that she's an assassin. But Abstergo are on the cusp of the information they need. Time.
Yes, you can kill guards. Yes.
Altair arrives back to Masyaf Castle, now in Al-Mualim's thrall.
The will of the master must be obeyed.
Oh, you can't get married. Where's your ring gonna go?
Of all who exist in and around the castle walls, he moves to confront his master.
No! What's happening?
So this does brush over some of the gameplay. We'll have a quick look at the original gameplay for this and a few things that will piss you off if you play this game.
The spectres of the 9 slain Templars for Altair to fight once more.
So unfortunately he has to kill some Templars. He had to kill some assassins on his way to his old master.
Men maintain free will, there can be no peace.
And you refuse to give up this evil scheme.
It seems then we are at an impasse.
No, we are at an end.
We're at an end.
Altair has been under the wing of Al-Mualim all his life, but his new reinforced understanding of the creed compels him to not only end his master's existence, but the artifacts too.
You held fire in your hand, old man. It should have been destroyed.
Never.
Then I will.
We'll see about that.
As Al-Mualim releases his grip on the apple, Abstergo gets the information they desire. The
there
apple
you go. Abstergo's
a map
got the information they wanted
all
now.
The remaining pieces of Eden.
Destroy it!
I can't.
1,000 years from this moment, the hunt for just one of these divine artifacts begins. The upper management have what they want. Warren Vidic is relieved, his task fulfilled. Lucy champions keeping Desmond alive for this next stage of Abstergo's plan. They leave.
There you go. They got what they wanted.
The affliction that claimed the sanity of
So basically Abstergo got what they wanted, which was the information on the pieces of Eden, which is all those artifacts. They also got the map for the remaining pieces of Eden. So they're like, sweet, thanks Desmond, you're no longer needed. You can...
Subject 16 has reached Desmond. The bleeding effect has taken hold.
Oh my god.
So to explain this bleeding effect that they talk about, subject 16 is the previous subject before him, also a descendant of someone who was trying to find, you know, the pieces of Eden. So everyone that goes on this animus, they have different ancestors, so you can only access the memories of your ancestors, not other random people. That's just not how it works. For this, subject 16 has left messages for the next subject after him to basically be like, yeah, let's just put some shit on the wall to warn Desmond of the shit that's going on.
What happened to him? What does it mean, I wonder?
To be continued. Press like if you did.
Yeah,
subscribe.
yeah. No, we're sorry, brother. Just not today. So that was Assassin's Creed 1, and we're gonna quickly go through and let's YouTube again. I'll show you the gameplay for. Oh no, I don't want none of this crap. For Assassin's Creed 1, because it's gonna be a little bit different from the current games that you play. Hopefully I can get one of someone climbing a tower, because that shit was annoying. Okay, we don't need none of this. Okay. Let's just watch this one. This is what it looks like when you just wander around the city. You're basically doing parkour, going across. You've got your map. Nice landing. And this is pretty much where you'd make your jump or your move onto someone. So that right there where you saw there was a guard who was highlighted, that's an opportunity to jump onto someone and assassinate them. This actually looks way better than the other guys. Why is this so good looking? Why is this good looking than the other one? This, I'm just going to go through some of the fails, because there are some things in this game, and I want to, the reason why I'm going to highlight some of these fails is because although it was made in 2001, the game obviously had issues, but it's kind of different issues to what they are now. Well, don't give me that cheap shit. Okay, there you go. Dying is going to be a massive thing in Assassin's Creed. This is a mixture of, yeah, you have some bugs, but you know, it's... I wanted to go over the bugs because we're going to go over some of the bugs in some of the other games. Which ones? This is Odyssey, I think. This is what Ubisoft is notorious for, and it's just some weird things. There's, I think this is AC2. Bro, you're spazzing out. Oh man, it's iconic. Some of the fails are really iconic. The jumping off towers in Assassin's Creed is one. Oh yeah. Oh, actually, we'll go with the leap of faith. So if you haven't seen the leap of faith, this is us. No, we want the good old one. Here, let's just jump on this one. Bro, with 5 subscribers. Let's. So every time you go into the city, there are these towers that you climb. This is a very iconic thing in Assassin's Creed. The towers provide you a viewpoint. You synchronize. It does a little cinematic. You get to see the city, and it unlocks, you know, removes the fog on your map. You can see the climbing's fairly basic, not as dynamic as the recent Assassin's Creed games, but it was very simplistic. And there we go. Always go to the viewpoint, and there's your little cinematic. Shows the city, beautiful music. There you go, 1 of 17 viewpoints. And there's your leap of faith into the into the hay barrel. Perfect. Perfect. Perfect landing. How good is that? So that's Assassin's Creed 1. Let's go back to this guy. Seems to be pretty up to it on the story. So, what has he got? Assassin's Creed 2. Look at that already. That there, the graphics have improved from AC1 to AC2. Her face looks like it's got a little bit more detail. Oh, it's just, oh, the memories. This one here, okay, so Assassin's Creed 1 is the pinnacle. It's basically the drive to get Assassin's Creed off the ground. Everyone loved Assassin's Creed. It was a different game in the day, and so that's what brought them on to Assassin's Creed 2, then 3, then Brotherhood. They just kept rolling. They were living in a high there. And in my opinion, before we go too far, Assassin's Creed 2, 3... Wait, number 3 is Brotherhood, sorry. Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood are more or less the best part of the series. Revelations is a nice touch to the series, but not... I honestly could have gone without the game. Like, if they didn't make it, I would have been like, yeah, okay. But it was sort of like homage to Ezio, and to say a sort of finishing of his story, because Ezio is by far the best, one of the best characters in Assassin's Creed. He had emotion, he had goals, he was family oriented, he had honor, but he was also, he did a lot of mistakes in it. He had a fantastic storyline, going from the highs to the lows.
We have to go.
So this is a continuous...
Desmond Miles is an assassin.
Oh shit.
Imprisoned. About to be freed.
This is a straight
Freed
continuation.
From a prison named Abstergo. Abstergo is the...
Yep,
the
cool.
elements. He stopped. With a new answer.
Add one of 6 McDonald's Minecraft collectibles
Bro.
to your inventory. Now available with a Minecraft movie meal.
Awesome. Intelligence.
You guys have to suffer with me.
Florence.
Ezio.
Going to break
Okay.
him free. But before they escape to the...
So before they escape, the lady, she's like, you know what? You need to get into the Animus. We need some information before we escape, so that way we can continue our little adventure as we go. Which is why he's jumping back into the Animus. And she's like, lay down, boy. Does that make you hungry? Sorry about the McDonald's. And I want you to take note of this scar here. This is, you'll notice the similarities in a bit.
Needs to synchronize with a new ancestor.
He's trying to synchronize with a new ancestor, so that's what they're doing before they run away.
What shall we call him, my love?
Ezio.
Ezio Auditore da Frienza. I think I said that right.
Florence.
Florence.
1476. At the height of the Renaissance movement, a time of great
This was a
cultural
couple of hundred,
advancement,
a few hundred
science,
years after
art, but
Altair.
also money and power. Ezio was born into this money and power, a member of the Auditore banking family, friends of the Medici. It was a carefree time for Ezio. He had a loving family, supportive friends, and a way with women. Life
werewolf woman, that was him.
good.
Not that woman, that's his brother.
Unbeknownst to Ezio, his life was about to be changed irreparably. The Auditores have enemies. If you enjoy this recap, leave a like. If you're not subscribed, do so, and consider supporting Free from Upstairs.
Are you saying... Are you saying no? I'm like, yeah, the... Which one was it? I'm just trying to think what was... it was Connor in the American Revolution. I did play that one. It was... I like some of the new stuff in it, like the new rope weapon, the way you could assassinate, and the story was good. It was okay. It just wasn't as impactful as Ezio's story, and
and safe in the assassin hideout in Rome.
That's why I was like, you know, Ezio's sort of the peak for me. Then I would say Edward from Black Flag. Connor was okay.
And a cause of hope.
We're losing this war, Desmond.
Like, it was a good game, don't get me wrong.
Turn you into one of us.
You broke me out of Abstergo and brought me here just to make me an assassin?
Look, there's more to it than that, but it'll have to wait. Trust me.
The assassins hope to...
So there they go on the bleeding effect. Yeah, we'll just skip this, because the important thing is... Oh my gosh, they show the movie. Oh no, this is not the movie, this is a little clip that someone made. I remember seeing this.
The man threatening to derail their plan. Tower under cover of night. Listen close. Giovanni had the information.
Okay, sorry, I skipped a little bit too far.
Giovanni already knew the mastermind of this conspiracy, Rodrigo Borgia, the head of the Templar.
Borgia.
There were other names too. The only one he knew for sure, Francesco de Pazzi, head of the other powerful family in Florence. The Pazzis, jealous of the
remember
rise
their
of the
faces,
Medicis
those two little bastards.
Giovanni had the information to take them down, but with Lorenzo out of the city, the Templars took...
No, it's not my fave. No.
Giovanni, the man threatening...
Ezio's my fave. Brotherhood is my favorite.
Ezio returns from running errands for his father.
They took your father and brothers to the Palazzo della Signoria, to prison.
Making sure his mother and sister were safe, Ezio climbed the prison tower under cover of night.
Listen closely. Return to the house. In my office is a hidden door. Use your talent to find it.
This is the eagle vision, which allows you to see hidden things.
Much of it may seem strange to you, but
that's his father passing down his uniform.
Ezio puts on the robes, sheathes the sword, takes the scroll, a strange device, and a letter. A letter he is instructed to take to Uberto Alberti, the Justice Minister, a friend of the Auditores and their final hope to fix this. Ezio leaves his father's secret chamber. His world is rocked by the revelation that there is more to their
he
father
races to
than
the
they
other
had known.
Mm.
side of town.
It's a misunderstanding, Ezio. I'll clear everything up.
See the bastard in the background?
At their hearing in the morning, and they'll be released. Don't worry, Ezio. Everything is going to be fine.
Except it won't. It will never be the same again because Alberto is not a friend.
Yeah, he's not a friend.
You may take our lives this day.
That's his father, his brothers on there.
Father! There! Grab the boy! He's one of them!
You just got betrayed as your father and your two brothers just got killed, executed.
Claudia. They are kept in a bordello run by Paola.
I can't stay.
Why? Where are you going?
See, that's what I wanted to point out. This here is the same scar that you will notice on Desmond.
To kill Uberto Alberti.
You are not a killer, Ezio, but I can make you one.
Little did he know, but this was the start of a lifetime of training, with a long line of strangers imparting their
There you
wisdom
go, you
to
learn
fill
how to
Ezio's
blend in,
destiny
so that's
to be
the...
an assassin. No small part of that
There's
is
a few
learning to
things in
blend into the
Assassin's
crowd,
Creed that
to
will
stay hidden in plain
always
sight, to use
be
distractions to
iconic.
reach guarded places and to use the hidden blade to make his kills.
A
That
leap
was
of
made
faith
possible by a
being
local
one,
artist,
blending
engineer, and
in,
family friend Leonardo da
and
Vinci,
assassinating people, to be honest.
who
Here's
deciphered
Leonardo
the strange
DiCaprio.
scroll
Oh,
found with his father's things and
DiCaprio,
used
what
it
the
to
fuck am
restore
I
the
talking
hidden
about?
blade. Who
Leonardo
deciphered
da
the
Vinci,
strange
sorry.
scroll found with his father's things and used it to restore the hidden blade for Ezio's use.
Incredible.
There's the wonderful hidden blade that's been restored.
Uberto Alberti.
Now you go kill the bastard who betrayed you and your family. And this is where Ezio...
I'm still here! Me! Ezio! Ezio Auditore!
Ezio has announced his revenge. Not only that, but to find out why...
So that's what I love about Ezio. You can tell with his first assassination kill how much anger, how much emotion he has in there. He was just going all ham on that guy. He's like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to announce to everyone here that I'm still alive and I'm going to take revenge on every single one of you bastards that are in this circle. And so he's got a long journey ahead of him.
Why his father and brothers had to die. The Patzies are next on his list, but he must think of those that remain too.
I think it's best I leave Firenze. My uncle Mario owns a villa near Monteregione.
To keep Maria and Claudia safe, they sneak out of the city and head for the place of their father's birth, Monteregione.
This is going to be your safe haven.
The path is blocked by
this little bastard.
The son of his father's conspirator, Francesco.
He doesn't last too long.
What do you want, Vieri?
Your life.
Kill them! Kill them all!
This is actually the boy that he had a fist fight with at the start of this game, which you didn't actually get to see, but
although Ezio looks to
they
take his
don't
family
like each other.
much further, Mario persuades Ezio to stay and train for the dangerous tasks ahead. A task that is in his blood. Villa Monteregione
leaves all your training.
And although run down, it is an opportunity for them to salvage.
You've got these codex pages, so basically they're just
pages, like the one hidden in his father's chest.
Hidden pages you put on a wall, and they essentially show a map of where something is, or like uncover something, you know, something special.
And send word when it's time to strike. Jacopo, your job is to
all these bastards here, dead man, and the other little boy, dead man.
Uncle to Francesco.
This guy at some point, dead man. Those guards probably going to be a dead man when Ezio comes through, because, you know, just stab, stab, stab.
After the meeting, they close in on Vieri and end his life.
Pezzo di merda! Vorrei solo che avesse sofferto di più! Spero che
Enough, Ezio! Show some respect. You are not Vieri. Do not become him.
Ezio was not raised an assassin like his father and uncle. The mindset required will take time.
Here you go, mindset. He has such fury in him. He just needs to Usar a little bit.
1478. There, he meets more strangers to aid his path.
Meet some friends, go kill his father, go defeat some more bastards,
She's got an amazing tattoo.
and skip this shit.
Jiggle physics.
And follows him to the meeting in the shadow of the gods. Furious at the collapse of his plan, the assassin that foiled his plans.
Did you honestly think I wouldn't expect you to follow? We've been at this a lot longer than you.
Let God sort them.
With 4 years of training behind him, he escapes the trap, and with Florence saved, he heads for Venice to learn more of the next stage of the Templar plan and close in on.
So over this time, like 5-6 years have passed.
Desmond needs to take a break. The bleeding effect, although you.
And you've got some things on Desmond. Is the Desmond part is the most boring part of
Ezio's memory.
Playing Assassin's Creed. Everyone's kind of like, oh, now I'm Desmond again. Oh, hurry up so I can get back to, like, you know, stabbing people, because, you know, that's the fun part of playing Assassin's Creed.
Desmond needs to collect these fragments.
But you're picking up fragments as you go. You're now in Venice. We've got more targets to kill. Trying to make our way to the top, and you're getting information from each person that you kill as you go along. She's a thief, I think.
Ezio catches up.
Yep. Kill some more people.
Is their destination. They want.
You'll notice his armor changes. You can change your uniform.
Templar sought in Cyprus.
Beautiful.
Ezio would have to wait 2 years.
See, there's more time passed. So over this time, he's become better, more calm,
and with the help of Leonardo, he revealed more of
sharp.
The prophecy.
The prophet will appear when the second piece is brought to the floating city.
A prophecy hidden in the codex, leading to an ancient vault that holds something very powerful. What if
It's
that's why
very
they sent
powerful.
the ship to Cyprus to find this piece of Eden? The killing of Mocenigo, even the Medici.
Yeah, we do
his
have to
father
play the
and
boring
brothers.
parts, but
It was all part of his plan to find the vault, the Spaniard.
The Templar
Spaniard.
boat returns from Cyprus carrying the piece of Eden.
We
Ezio
got the piece of
infiltrates,
Eden,
disguises
and you gotta
himself,
be like-
and joins the triumphant Templar soldiers carrying the much longed for piece
You
of
pretend
Eden
you're
to
a
the
guard.
waiting Rodrigo Borgia.
Where is he? Who?
then you
Your
go stab some
prophet.
people, and then you're
How
like,
many
yo,
people have
I'm
died
gonna
for this?
stab you.
I am the prophet. Now give me the apple.
Borgia guards descend, but to Ezio's surprise, so do his allies. All the people that have shaped him and helped smooth his path.
So all
over
his
the
allies
last
and
10
people who
years.
have
10 years of
helped him.
vengeance. These seemingly disconnected individuals come together to see off the Borgia soldiers and protect
Rich
the apple.
looking.
They do so, but Rodrigo Borgia escapes.
That's
What are
true.
you
That's
all
because
doing
you actually make money.
Perhaps
You can
the
actually
same
steal
thing
money
you
from
are,
the citizens when you walk
hoping to
around.
see the prophet appear. A prophet's
And you
arrival
use that
was
money
foretold.
to buy nice stuff and colour
unbeknownst
your
to us,
uniform.
Here you are.
And new
Perhaps
new
all
weapons.
along,
You
were
can
the
change your
one who
weapon.
sought
That
10
just
years.
increases your armor. So beautiful. Oh, that was a bit of
It
a...
looks like the vault is in Roma.
Look how much money this guy. He's got
This is why
so
he
much.
became Pope.
Florence,
Not
whatever.
only did it give him the power to spread the Templar influence through Italy and the world, but it gave him access
This
to
is
the
coming
vault
to the end
and
of AC2, where you've finally
star.
sort of made your way
Codex
through
always spoke of two
the dead
keys.
bodies.
2 pieces of Eden needed to open the vault.
Papal staff is the second piece of Eden.
While the other assassins cause trouble in the city of Rome, Ezio uses the distraction to infiltrate the Vatican during Rodrigo Borgia's papal sermon to the cardinals in the Sistine Chapel.
There you go. Here's your slide down and... But this bro's not going to go down without a fight. So he's using the piece of Eden.
I see. Kind of you to bring me the apple. You will give it to me.
As you wish.
See, he's got the apple that helps him against his apple. Whatever the magic shit, I
two
can't even
battle,
remember.
Both imbued with the power of the piece of Eden they possess. But Rodrigo, more familiar with the artifact's power, overcomes Ezio.
Oh, that's true. So sorry.
He now has both
Sometimes
pieces
I
of Eden
forget where
and
my
the
baguette is.
location of the vault.
You're right,
His
you're right.
decades of work has reached its conclusion. He heads towards his perceived destiny. Ezio, injured but able to stand, uses his skills to pursue Rodrigo.
Open, damn you. Open!
It's over, Rodrigo.
10 years of vengeance, and now I can...
Killing you won't bring my family back.
Ezio elects to spare the false prophet Rodrigo, and on touching the staff paired with the apple, the vault door opens, allowing the prophet to enter.
Greetings, prophet.
This is where things get a
It is
little
good
bit
you have come.
complex.
Let us see it. To give thanks.
The hologram that Ezio faces is
Minerva.
You are gods.
No, not gods. We simply came before.
Minerva is a projection from an advanced intelligence that existed before man. In fact, they created man. Man did not evolve. This was a fact fabricated by the Templars to protect the secrets they wished to take advantage of. The ones that came before made humans as slaves, but the oppressed rose and overcame their masters. Shortly after that, a celestial event occurred that wiped out almost all life. Those that remained from both sides worked together to rebuild.
Even when we walked the world, your kind struggled to understand our existence. You may not comprehend us, but you will comprehend our warning. Our words are not meant for you. I do not wish to speak with you, but through you. You're the prophet. You've played your part.
The person Minerva was to commune with is Desmond. Through the Animus to deliver a message, to warn of the coming of another celestial event, an event that could literally shake the world to its core, taking some, if not all, of humanity with it. The ones that came before have now died out, but what they left behind was vaults like these. Temples, within them the wisdom to help humanity stop the catastrophe from ever happening again. Desmond is chosen as the one to bring this about.
You must find the other temples. If you can find them, If their work can be saved, so too might this world. Be quick, for time grows short, and guard against the cross.
There you go, Altair's little appearance.
In your way.
Guard against the cross.
Now from this world, all of us.
Talking about the Templars there.
The rest is up to you, Desmond.
What the fuck?
The rest is up to you, Desmond. So,
Desmond has...
interestingly, Minerva tells Ezio and refers to him as Desmond, even though Desmond isn't alive till over 1,000 years later, to relive these memories only to be addressed by Minerva in Ezio's memories, which is weird. So this is the bit where Minerva comes in. That's the most complicated part about Assassin's Creed. First, you had Altair, who's like, yo, piece of Eden, magic shit, can give us magic powers. Then you've got AC2, which brings along Ezio, and then he finds out that these beings exist and they made humans and they no longer exist, but these vaults have been left behind, and he's now got to go search for these other vaults and find out the truth and shit. And then you're like, shit, this Assassin's Creed world's getting a little bit bigger than it is. It was a setup for more, but to be honest, I would say yes, it was a setup for more, but at the same time, when Brotherhood and Revelations, if you include that one, finished, they could have stopped there. That could have been the end of the Assassin's Creed series, but then they chose to keep going, and they went way more.
Has an importance far greater than the assassins, the Templars, even himself had imagined. But there is no time
set up for future expansions, which became the slow death.
The assassin's hideout. Among them, Warren Vidic, Desmond's former captor and the man in charge of it.
Like, there is nothing wrong with having a set up for future expansions. The only issue is that they went beyond what they could stretch it out to be. Yeah, it's called greed. That's what everyone has sort of come down to. It's no different when you've got movies, anything that sort of takes like a trilogy and then goes, you know what, we can make one more. Like, Fast and Furious. You could have stopped at any point. It's got more movies than years I have in my body.
If you're not subscribed, do so and consider supporting this work.
And yeah, they came to an end in the Assassin's Creed universe. So this brother's patient wolf seems to be telling a reasonably good story. Revelation story. Yeah, so this is where, at the end of Brotherhood, this is where the Ubisoft universe started to slowly have a slow death. It had some good moments, but as soon as they made that transition after Black Flag, Unity was a bit shit. Syndicate, I never finished that one.
The Templars have caught up with the assassins. Desmond and his...
Actually, let's... Fast and Furious. Well, to be honest, I have played all of the Assassin's Creed. I played the second and third one multiple times because that was my favourite one. After Black Flag, I played Unity for a little bit. I did a little bit of the co-op things, and things are a bit shit. The story was... I don't actually remember much about Unity, to be honest, because I found it boring. I stopped playing probably after maybe 4 or 5 hours into the game, and then I was like, you know, I don't want to play anymore. Syndicate, I enjoyed that way much better than Unity. However, it didn't have the same Assassin's Creed vibe. it felt like it deviated from the heart of AC. I'm not gonna finish the game if it's like, I like the Assassin's Creed universe, but if they bring out a game that I'm like, you know what, this is not enjoyable enough to finish, I'm not gonna finish it. And so I didn't finish Unity, Syndicate. I haven't finished any of the games since Unity, except Mirage. Why? Because that was where they were like, you know what, we're going to try and please the original audience and try and tone it back on the RPG shit. And it was a shorter game. It was just way much easier to play. If you have a shorter game, it's got an alright story, I'm going to play it. Game wasn't too long to finish. Sweet. I'm going to keep playing. It sort of had the same original Assassin's Creed iconic bits and pieces. Leap of faith. Went back to more the stealth gameplay, which is what I enjoyed.
Both Ezio and Desmond are in the dark about many things, but they do know this.
But
Minerva, a hologram from a race long dead,
bro,
delivered a clear
how many AC
message.
games are there?
A celestial
How many
event
Fast
is
and
on its
Furious
way.
games are they going to
Not
make?
in Ezio's time,
I mean,
but
movies, you
perhaps
know?
in Desmond's.
That's how many
It is
AC
up to
games there
him.
are.
But where does he start?
They've gone
He has his
way
fellow
above.
assassins to assist him. Rebecca Crane in charge of running the Animus.
I mean,
Sean
you think
Hastings, historian
Black Ops
and,
and Call of Duty's got a lot of games, and Assassin's
Lucy
Creed's up there too.
Stillman.
In the Vatican, Minerva talked about other temples.
Finish the series. I might have to do a playthrough. I was gonna do a playthrough. It's just I got a lot of other games that I'm still going through.
Minerva altered it somehow when she touched it.
Despite being underdogs, the assassins have one advantage. Abstergo do not know about the temples, and they don't know
about the
Ezio's
temples.
act.
Okay, let's
Consider
skip
becoming a
this
patron of
and
the
let's
channel
skip
via the
this
link on screen
frickin'
now.
ad.
This video is
Sorry,
number
that was
3
his
in-
promo. No,
and
we don't
this
want your
is
promo, brother.
A story summary of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. The search for the temples, and perhaps the tools to combat
Yeah,
the
cool. So
impending
we've been
celestial
broken out
event
of
turned to the
whatever.
Auditore
We're now
Villa
back at
in
our
Monteriggioni.
original spot with our uncle.
And his sister Claudia have renovated and rejuvenated the town.
So this bit here.
And his sister Claudia have renovated and rejuvenated.
This is an interesting part. I think this is what they brought, I think, back into Assassin's Creed Shadows to some extent. I haven't actually had a good look at it, but I'm pretty sure that you can sort of move buildings or something in a little town that you're out. This was a very basic thing that they had in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. It's basically build a shop, you know, you make money for your town, you build up the shop. Once you open up the shop, you can then go to that shop, buy some items, you can get money from the bank because you get a deposit into your bank, blah blah blah. You can go to the blacksmith, buy some new weapons and armor. The brothel, obviously, you know, you don't go in there. The mines, church, and military barracks, thieves guild, and well, those are just sort of decorational things, and they all contribute to the money that you make as a community. So you buy the building, that makes you money, then you withdraw it from the bank and buy some new shit for yourself and make yourself look pretty. If you're more into RPG games, then definitely the newer Assassin's Creed is more up your alley, because there was just way too much stuff going on. Play the new DLC. Make sure you kill all those bosses in the Elden Ring there, Drake.
Beyond Mario's expectations. And Mario has been an important mentor to his nephew, and Ezio has become a vital custodian and hero of the town.
Look, it is Ezio!
Buongiorno! It's good to be home.
It is their home, their family home, a place of safety and the meeting place of the Assassin Brotherhood. An organisation the Auditore family of the Vatican. Ezio seeks revenge on those that killed. Is up with an old friend.
There you go.
Friend
Look at
of
the beautiful
the Countess of Forli, Caterina Sforza.
Caterina.
waste by the Borgia Pope's papal army.
Do you have it? I am keeping it safe. We need to hold
And
them
this
off
is the
until
bit
townspeople
when
have escaped.
the
With
uncle's
apple
fortress
still
gets
safe,
under
they wish
attack,
each other luck, and Mario leaves
and you've got
lead the
to
attack head
run.
on, while Ezio looks to protect the walls.
Uncle.
Ezio! The Pope told me about you and your little group of assassins.
This is the new bastard that you gotta kill now, and look, he's got the apple.
An invitation from my family to yours.
His family is Borgia. His father is the Pope, and he is the leader of his papal army. His name is Cesare Borgia, and he has
Borgia.
the apple.
Kill
he
the
has
Borgias.
Katrina Sforza prisoner, and his uncle, his mentor, his adopted father Mario, is killed.
There you go.
He has no time to process this yet. He must see that all have escaped, including his last remaining relatives, his mother and sister. Although wounded, he fights his way to the villa.
Stop! Wait for us!
Where does this passage lead?
To the north.
Okay, yep, go through the passage.
Pope
Set up. Let's
looks for the key to prevent the
So
animus,
Desmond goes
except
back
for
to the
one
original,
detail.
finds some secret passageway, not very important. At this point, you get awoken, you get your bandages, you get looked after by beautiful ladies. Put on your suit of armor again.
In his research, Dr. Morrison identified a paradox.
Don't you do this to me!
To have an arrangement with gangs like the Cento. Still base.
Then you got a
Cesare
new
Borgia
mentor.
threw his brother for power.
We need to take away the source.
And this is you
Machiavelli
in
is still
a
bitter
new
that
city,
Ezio spared
and this is pretty
Rodrigo.
much the
task
start
is
of
even
you
harder because of it. They
building
need to
your
undermine their
brotherhood.
rule here in Rome, the epicenter of the regime's power.
Yeah, you
Ezio
kill them,
can take
brother.
down the
You kill
Borgia
them.
captains who govern the Ezio's friends.
Oh, yep, you got some beautiful things going on to revenge. Then you come along here, and you take the Borgia's wife,
Katrina knowing
lady,
where the key is to free herself.
and then Katarina.
They flee, battling the papal soldiers, and return to the assassin hideout to convalesce and regroup. Cesare has left Rome to fight his conquests in Italy at large. They won't be able to get close to him at present. All they can do is further destabilise the Borgia grip on Rome. They can do this by bringing others
I
to
can't
their
be bothered
cause.
with ad blockers. Everyone's like, it's so easy. I'm just
We
like,
need loyal soldiers.
there's more
By
work.
recruiting enemies of the state, we arm those who have been disarmed by the Borgia.
So this here is you're saving this lady.
Ezio aids Borgia's enemies.
The liberation of Roma has begun.
Your cause is also mine. My life is at your service.
And that's how you start to build your brotherhood. You save people's lives, you go, yo, you want to join?
Their brotherhood. Katrina leaves to her besieged hometown of Forli with these Venta to weaken Cesare.
And hopefully at some point, yeah, you kill some more people.
Might of Cesare's
Bro,
forces.
oh, you kill this brother too. A bit close and personal there.
I do not regret a moment of it.
Juan has attended his last party.
Unarmed at dawn.
And on the apple.
The last month.
Yeah,
down
cool. We
the
don't
cliff.
need all that.
And the Borgia have been alerted key to the side entrance. Whilst doing
It's not showing you much brotherhood stuff. You killed that guy and then Catalina's whatever her face is there.
Of Micheletto and his army.
And you're gonna kill this guy too.
It might be too late. With the arrival of Micheletto's forces, even the apple might not be enough.
Then you
to
bring your
overcome
own
their sheer
forces.
numbers.
We will take back the city once and for
That's a
all.
bit of a story why he's running around naked. He has a bit of a
His army has not arrived.
company,
It is a familiar face
and
to the
he's, you know,
assassins.
the
Bartolomeo's
king
Fabio
of said
By order of Pope
group,
Julius II,
and he likes to throw
Cesare Borgia.
masked parties, if you know what I mean.
Will not hold me. I will not die by the hand of man.
Cesare is captured.
That's why he's
For now,
naked.
the assassins can rest. They have the apple. The Borgia are defeated in strength.
This, yeah, you've killed these. Now you've
one of them.
killed all these. Now I will.
72 is their password.
Once you get all this
The
information
divines
about the apple,
head to
they
Rome,
find
to
out
the
where they
more
need to
difficult
go
but
in
known
order
doors
to
blocking his
uncover
path.
the
In
secrets.
doing
So
so,
let's
he
just
meets
watch this
a
because
hologram,
we've already
just like that of
established
Minerva.
the Minerva
This one is named
shit.
Juno, and she is one that came before.
We commit to this
Yeah, he
phase
had.
the epilogue of
No
our
longer.
ending.
Let it be found by he who is deemed
Yes,
worthy. Let it
that's
shape
kind of
this
what I was
path
saying.
forward. Let it save the world we leave behind.
As Desmond continues to forge a path to the vault, Juno speaks of the previous cataclysm and her efforts to
Sorry,
preserve
it's Juno,
her
not
kind
Minerva.
after the disaster, as well as the human race. They left their story and wisdom to the materials and minds of men. But these proved impermanent and were lost to time and left the world ignorant. The ones who came before did not build humanity to be wise, but now the hope of the world rests upon one of them. Desmond. Humanity has the ability to understand, but they used their tools for control, rather than understanding and used them against one another. The ones that came before destroyed what they could and sealed away what they could not in vaults and temples. They could save their wisdom, but not themselves. Time took them in the end. Humans could never understand that of Juno's people because they didn't have their sixth sense. They call it knowledge. Some assassins have the beginnings of it, like Desmond and Ezio, because they are children of two worlds. Skills passed on genetically through the union between the two races. But those with human blood could only use some of the eagle vision, not all. The assassins with mixed blood, the ones with that gift, are all that remains of the ones that came before. Maybe that's why they look to store such knowledge, away in places only assassins could access, so that their race could live on.
Yes.
By coming to this temple, it is Juno's hope that Desmond will activate this knowledge to its full. He will have the knowledge, but according to Juno, it will be too late. Desmond activates a plinth that reacts to his touch and leads them to the vault door. The password, when spoken,
Finally into the vault.
72.
Opens the vault.
Time to find out where those temples are.
Desmond reaches the apple, the prize they've been seeking all this time. As he approaches, it bursts into an array of symbols.
That's a Phrygian cap. It stands for freedom, and that's a Masonic eye. Now those two come together in only one place. What's happening?
Sean cannot finish because Desmond touches the apple and the assassins freeze still. What's keeping them frozen like this?
I can't move.
Your DNA communes with the apple. You have activated it.
You have activated it.
On the 72nd day before the moment of awakening, you, birthed from our loins, the final journey commences.
Also, she speaks of one that must accompany Desmond through the gate, one he does not know yet. Who is this person?
The path must be opened. The scales shall be balanced.
As Juno speaks, Desmond is controlled by the apple, becomes its
Here
pawn,
it comes.
controlled to move his feet towards its will. It bears his blade and takes aim at his friend, his ally, the person he trusts most, Lucy Stillman.
No!
It is done. The way lies all before you. Only she remains to be found. Awaken the sixth. Go alone.
Awaken
Through
the
the apple,
sixth.
this
Go
ancient
alone.
civilization have enacted their plan. The trauma of this overwhelms Desmond. He is lost to this world. He has killed his friend. Why? Juno talks of another he must find. Is it Eve, as Subject 16 mentioned? If Juno is correct, Desmond is destined to awaken his sixth sense, to develop his gift to that
So you
of
can
his
imagine
ancestors,
these
the ones that
games
came
have got
before.
such depth to it.
Before his consciousness is lost completely, Desmond hears voices. One of them is a voice familiar to him, one he has not heard in a long time.
Shit! He's gone into shock. Put him back in the machine. It's the only way to fix this. But the Animus did this to him. Am I the expert or not?
As he passes into black, he remembers the words of Subject 16, spoken in the program he built.
I am with you till the end. Find me in the darkness.
Many questions remain unanswered.
Here we go.
Will the apple show the way to the temples? Why did the apple require Lucy's
And this
death?
leads into
Who is
Revelation.
the
So that
voice
finishes
familiar to
Ezio's story
Desmond?
as well as
And most
Desmond's
pressing,
story.
Will Desmond wake from this trauma? We look to Revelations next for answers, coming soon. If you enjoy this, leave a like. If you're not subscribed, make sure you are. And if you would like to support the hundreds of hours that go into these
Hundreds of hours. Yeah, got you, bro. Got you, bro. Advertisement. So that is Brotherhood. It didn't show all the good parts of... Look, see, look, there's the money, bro. There's the money. I told you it was there. My head's not that big anymore. So that's Brotherhood. It obviously didn't show a lot of the good gameplay and the actual sort of juicy parts of Brotherhood. And a lot of these stories just taking in the main part of what Assassin's Creed is about. So you don't get a lot of these smaller side stories that are sort of intertwined within Brotherhood with your characters, Ezio, with your family, and all the lovely little bits and pieces that you know, enrich the world. We are, you know what, we'll do this one, and then we're going to skim through some of the other ones, because that's when they kind of fuck things up. And this here
Desmond Miles returns to consciousness in a strange place.
is the story of Desmond Miles
coastal,
and the true
not
Assassin's
of his
Creed.
world.
After this segment,
But he still remembers.
that's pretty
He
much
remembers
when the
approaching
Assassin's
the
Creed
apple
series
hidden
went
by Ezio
sort of a
beneath
bit more
Rome.
downhill.
Him being compelled to move towards his friend Lucy Stillman.
Not as
the
not
person
as
he
joyful, not
trusted
as rich.
most. No! His hidden blade, piercing her skin.
It is done.
She must be dead. He used this blade many
This is
times
just so
with
everyone has an
Altair
understanding
as Ezio,
of
but
Desmond
why?
Miles and
Why
how
had the
this
apple made
concludes.
him do it? Why had Juno?
You know very little. We must guide you.
He also remembers that voice. A voice he knows well. William.
Put him back in the machine. It's the only way to fix this.
This strange world is the Animus.
Hello?
He is in here to keep him alive.
Rebecca, get me out of here.
The assassins in 2012 can't hear Desmond. They can't record in this part of the Animus, but Desmond can hear them. Rebecca Crane and Sean Hastings are dealing with the aftermath of Desmond's collapse and burying their friend, Lucy Stillman.
Were they close? I mean, closer than friends?
This new voice, William, is there to help.
There was the occasional misty-eyed moment, but
She liked him, Bill. That's what she told me.
things got so fucked up so fast.
Are you at the airport?
Yeah, we're chartering a jet. Are you coming?
So basically, you're in the Animus, and they're
For now,
trying to
this is
rebuild your body
Desmond's
because, or
concern.
you know,
It
because
seems
you've been
he is
injured.
stuck here, but he's not alone. For the first time, he
And this
able
is when
to
you
put
run
a face to
into
someone he knows so well.
Just walk right
Subject 16.
Subject 16, the man that left the symbols in blood, the breadcrumbs throughout Italy.
So
guiding
Subject
us,
16
sharing
is
the truth. He
almost
is dead.
stuck
Of course
in
he
the
is.
Animus.
This
He's
is
sort
just
of
his
like this
consciousness.
sentient
What is he doing
being.
here? But for now, Desmond has other questions.
What is this place? We're in the guts of the Animus, the original test program. No memories here, just basic physics, weather simulations. For now, the Animus is keeping all your ancestors from collapsing into one big mess. But if you can't find a sync nexus, all those personalities smash together.
Anus.
Sync
That's a good
nexus.
point.
That is what Desmond is to attain if he is to free himself and get back to his body.
There, that thing is your way out.
So he needs to resync himself. Then you go on back into Ezio's story.
Card, or in the Assassin Order through his mentorship. Written is his ancestor with every step as he touches every
So this is
stone.
Ezio,
won't
and he's
recognise
following in the
this hallway,
footsteps
these
of
shelves,
Altair,
this
where he's
desk,
trying to
but
figure
Desmond
shit out,
will.
and he's
As
following him
Altair,
around.
He met the shamed Al-Mulim here many times. The assassins no longer call this place their home. Altair saw to that. They do not shutter themselves in grand castles. They live amongst the people and cultures they are trying to protect.
Yes, trying to
Ezio had
protect the
already
people.
been in Masya
So
for a while. He
Ezio
had met
visits the
new occupants,
OG castle.
the Templars. They were here for the same reason they knew of the library. He met them on the road and at the gates, and as their captain Leandros put the rope around Ezio's neck and walked him to the ramparts.
Ezio's a
But in
lot
30
older
years
in
as an
Revelations. This
assassin,
is sort
he
of
had
like
escaped worse.
his older years.
Ezio knew of the library through knowledge passed through his assassin lineage, but how did the Templars know? As Ezio plunges beneath the castle, they had found the door too.
Finding the
workman
secret
employed by the Templars.
study of Altair.
Here to find this chamber, and for the past 3 months I've been trying to break through this door.
There are keyholes here. What are the keys?
These Templars found one beneath the Ottoman Sultan's palace. As for the others, I suppose the little book will tell them.
What book?
The captain of this Templar endeavor.
So now you gotta
has
find
it,
keys to the door,
and
which will take you to
explorers who already
Altair's
have one
library,
Overall, the city
fantastic.
flourished and
You
became
can
one of
tell the
tolerance, affluence, and
graphics has
vibrancy.
advanced along quite far here.
And borrowed from the Chinese, Ezio would learn to wield bombs.
Bombs. You get
Not only to
bombs.
kill, but also to entice and distract.
There they go.
Almost forgetting his higher purpose, Ezio was glad to be amongst this new brotherhood, learning and using his new skills to defend hiding young Masyafki.
So he sort of becomes an old mentor, picking up these pieces here to open up the study or place of Altair that he's left
Perhaps it was
behind.
her passion, her beauty,
That's-
or deep knowledge of the area.
I think that's
and the written
Katerina
word, but Ezio
from
opened
the,
up to her.
the previous one.
I have seen it.
He keeps the
Ace the
library,
Assassins
he writes to his sister as
the
well,
warring god
kills a few
of the
more people,
arsenal.
When you are satisfied.
teaches the
Who
new
has the location
Assassin's
that the
Creed
Templar
Brotherhood in
Tarek
this
Barletti
town
must- He spent
because
many
he's
hours
so
with
good at
Sophia
what he
discerning
does.
the map, as well as discussing literature and geography and history and all the passions that they both shared an interest. Ezio's ardour for the female form had been tempered over the years. Partly his age, partly his learned respect for women,
There you go,
partly his
his
focus on the
respect.
cause, but
Love a
mostly
woman.
due to the pain of loss he has faced in his life. He could not protect his first love, Christina Vespucci, when he was drawn into the Brotherhood. He could not be there for her during Savonarola's sack of Florence
Oh, no, sorry.
when she
Was that-
died in his arms.
Oh yeah.
Later, his guarded heart would be captured by Caterina Sforza.
Caterina.
But again, the struggle would trump any chance of a quiet, happy existence. He was married to the cause. And anyone he got close to would be at risk by mere
love how he just takes
association
his
with him.
mace and just
Despite this, Ezio cared
sheaths it
deeply for
somehow.
Sophia,
Oh
and
yeah,
that
that's right,
care
Sophia.
was
Sophia's the
returned.
love.
Altair was in no doubt what he had to do.
Altair! No!
I must know that he cannot return.
But this is not our way.
Abbas leads the chorus of discontent.
All your life, you have made a mockery of our creed. You bend the rules to suit your whims.
In the melee, Abbas takes and wields the apple.
Abbas, stop!
So
what
this
did you
is-
think would happen when you murdered our beloved mentor?
Abbas is not steered by principles or love of Al-Mualim. He is guided by pain,
Yes,
by
bombs.
hate for
Just
Altair
realised.
over his father's death.
So his father was the
Ahmet died when he
chief.
was a child. Al-Mualim kept the truth from Abbas, but it
So
was
Abbas basically
suicide.
takes the apple, fucks
But he
things
could
up,
not contain it.
and then you gotta go save
Altair
him.
could.
That's when you take the
He also
apple
sought
and you're
to
like,
learn
you know
from the
what?
apple,
This
the
apple
myth,
needs to
and
be
the
hidden.
reason to
You ordered it.
Need to hide
he
this
had
shit.
Al-An Shakur open the library. Altair's font of wisdom and the Grand Master of the Byzantine turns his bow.
One imbued with a message.
Yep, cool. You've got all these keys. Now you've got
Has
messages.
claimed the throne.
This is when you've got memories of Desmond Miles.
Lead you to the apple.
Be answered. As Clay Kazmarek submitted his consciousness to the Animus, he was given his final task by Juno to make sure Desmond survives.
Make sure Desmond survives.
I will.
As the test program collapses, his final act is to do just that.
What are you doing? I'm saving you, idiot! Go!
Back into the Animus, on the cusp of achieving his sync nexus to experience one last memory.
Subject 16 sacrifices himself to save Desmond Miles because, you know, Desmond Miles has to live for shit to happen. You know, he's the hero of the story, clearly.
Ezio had been fighting for Odin to stay by his side as he completed this journey with the keys to
Now
the
he's
library.
come
For 3
right
decades,
to the
I
end
have served
of
the memory
this
of my father and my
series where he's
brothers.
with
Do not
Sophia.
regret
He's
those
got all the
years,
keys for the
but it is
door.
time to live for myself and let them go.
Then let go. You will not fall far.
With the 5 keys, Ezio opens Altair's library, sealed shut for 300 years.
You had better come out of there alive.
To make
I
another
plan to.
expansion, yeah.
Many shelves, but no books. Just a chair with a figure slumped within it,
Requiescat in
This
pace,
is
Altair.
Altair in the chair.
holding a 6th Masyaf key. Ezio is transported to the day the library was sealed.
Father, I do not understand. Why did you build a library if you did not intend to keep your books?
You should go. When the Mongols return, Masyaf must be empty. Go be with your family, and live well.
Masyaf is no longer home to the assassins, but sealed in this tomb, it will be the final resting place of Altair. In it, he will guard the apple for a day he will never see, to share secrets with a person he will never meet. He sits with his last recorded memory and waits.
And that's pretty much the end of Altair's last days.
I have seen enough for one life.
As it was when he met Minerva, he knows his purpose has not been to understand. His purpose was to reveal, and he senses this is his last revelation as an assassin. The apple is activated.
Desmond?
He's talking to me?
Who are we who have been so blessed to share our stories like this? To speak across centuries. Maybe you will be the one to make all this suffering worth something in the end.
Nothing worth it.
Now, listen.
Desmond has achieved his sync nexus.
Has he? Has he?
This is Jupiter. Like Minerva and Juno, he was one that came before. They are in a nexus of time, and he is here to illuminate Desmond on the work they did in the
When I was
vaults,
first playing this,
trialing and
I
testing
did not know
methods
what was
to
going
save
on.
the world.
Each vault's knowledge was transmitted to a
The whole vault thing and the
Grand Temple,
Desmond
where
side
they
of things, I
tested
was
the
just
most
like,
promising methods.
but none worked. And then the world ended.
Desmond would see the world as it was during their time.
The
He
apocalypse.
saw the solar catastrophe eviscerate everyone and everything save a handful of humanity and even less of Jupiter's kind. But they worked together to rebuild and to renew. But what of the impending catastrophe prophesied by Minerva?
Listen, you must go there. Take my words. Pass them from your head into your hands. That is how you will open the way.
and
The
this
assassins
comes
have
to the
travelled
end of
far, to the coordinates that Ezio showed them, to that place on Jupiter's globe, to the east coast of America.
East Coast of
His vitals are
America.
stabilizing.
He hears that voice again, that voice he knows so well.
Desmond, can you hear me?
No, I don't want to hear. Just leave me alone. I want to go back to sleep. I don't want to be here.
I know what we need to do.
Do you?
Desmond's purpose is still in motion, here at the entrance to the Grand Temple, but his time with Ezio has come to an end. He has nothing left to show him.
And that's the end of Ezio's journey.
Ezio lived the remainder of his years in the Tuscan countryside, healing the pain he endured, reflecting on the lessons he had learnt, and growing the family he started with Sophia. He found love, contentment, and finally,
death.
Peace.
Oh, sorry. Peace. He found peace.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be informed of the next installment of the series.
And that's more or less Ezio's story. And that's, as people like to say, the best trilogy. Then here's one for you. What was it called? I can't even remember what it's called. Sorry. Is it called Assassin's Creed 3? This brother here. This one was...
Peggy 18.
You know, it's like I think this was like a 7 out of 10 for me.
I have known true freedom.
This is your
I have
American
known a
Revolution
world of peace
one that
and
you were
remarkable
looking
spirit.
forward to.
A world which was taken from me.
Brother,
I was told you
open
could
up.
train me.
Train me, brother.
Welcome to the Assassins.
Kanandoko, is the village all right?
Men came. They forced us to leave.
You must refuse.
Let me tell you something, Kala. Life is not a fairy tale, and there are no happy endings.
What would you have me do? I made a promise to my people.
In your haste to save the world, take care you don't destroy it.
I mean, this game, AC3,
I realize now that it will take time.
good solid
That the road is
gameplay.
long and shrouded in
Climbing
darkness.
trees.
It is a road that will not
This was
always
actually
take me
probably
where
the
I wish to
first
go,
game where they allowed you to
but I will
climb
travel
trees.
down it nonetheless.
Made the parkour a little bit more dynamic. They introduced a lot more different weapons. Sliding. You get an axe, there's a tree running. Beautiful. Beautiful. No, I would say that my favourite is definitely the Ezio segment. Revelations, I didn't find that interesting, but that was just the gameplay part of it and the actual... It was the end of Desmond Miles' story, and that was the boring part. Let's be honest. You were swinging back in between Ezio and Desmond Miles, and you're just like, oh, Desmond, can I just... Who cares about you? Can we just move on? We don't want to be here. But no, it's... What does AC have to do with it? Hold on, let's
Give your budget a boost
swing
and
me
collect 10
back.
times points at will.
Do you want to go through every single story? We can go through every single story. I got time.
This video is powered by patrons. See the link in the description and
Oh,
learn
look,
how
he's-
you can support videos
There we
like
go,
this.
Lineage London, Boston recruitment.
Son?
Desmond knows
There we
just
go.
what to do. His fellow assassins, Rebecca, Sean, and
Who've
now
just
his
been
father,
made
William, know
alive.
where it has to be done.
Look at that.
They
Look
were
at the
given
graphics on
coordinates for the
this.
ones who
It's
came
like
before.
an
They've
improvement.
guided them here to Turin, a small village outside of New York, USA, to enter this grand temple. They hope.
So we're going to the
place where they
temple.
can stop
Desmond
the
looks skinny
impending
as anything, because I imagine he
This
wasn't eating when he was on the
cataclysmic
Animus.
event. The ones who came before
I don't know
ultimately
how they cleaned
succumbed
up
to
his
an
shit
event
when
like
he
this
was there, because it
thousands
doesn't
of
say
years
how long he
prior.
was on there.
They see Desmond as humanity's only hope for it to not happen again. The date prophesied for this apocalypse is December 21st, 2012.
So this goes
They
through the
have
story of
52 days.
Connor. You've got your dad, so William Johnson.
America, where people to resist.
No, not William Johnson. The other William.
Not to sell. We are here to tell
No,
you
we
are yours
don't.
to
We
leave these
don't
lands.
care about those ones. Charles, Nexus, the old man on the hill.
Connor.
Here we go. This one here. We're gonna skip right to
And that is where the assassins in 2012 find it.
the end of it.
This is it.
We're right
You
behind.
find the key.
They make
This
their way to the
Assassin's
door,
Creed is all
to the
about
inner
finding
sanctum
keys,
of the
finding
Grand
out
Temple.
these
Moment of
hidden artifacts, and finding
With his assassins
these
behind him,
wonderful
his
futuristic
friends, his
things
family, he meets
that
Juno
make
at the
no
altar,
sense,
what
but
he
you're like,
hopes is
okay,
humanity's
touch it.
savior.
Nothing bad's gonna happen. Do it, Desmond. Touch it.
You know our story now. Of how we tried. Of how we failed.
Yeah, you
All our
failed.
hopes extinguished. Save one.
One of their ideas to repel the sun was to do so with the
So
construction
she
of
explains
4 towers
basically
to
how they
absorb the
fucked up
sun.
their
Time
world
allowed
and
them,
the
waiting
apocalypse.
for the moment she could be freed. Juno's
and she's trying to
priority
be
was not to save the
freed,
world from
and
the
she
start.
tries to trick Desmond Miles into doing something.
She sought instead to conquer it. She used our machines to set her plans in motion.
The eye that Minerva built to divine the future was appropriated by Juno to use it for her
Now
own
they've got
ends,
fighting
to
amongst the
deliver a
gods.
message to Desmond in the Colosseum, to kill Lucy Stillman.
When we discovered her treachery, we put a stop to it. And then we left. But first we called to you.
To Desmond and the assassins to come to the temple to try where they had failed.
So the
Minerva wanted to
treachery
save
of
humanity
Sarah,
in the future,
the chick
even
that
if
we
she could
killed,
not save her own
she was
species. With the
actually
message
a
sent,
Templar. She
destroyed
was
the
like
eye
a
in the temple,
triple
but there was
agent
another,
or some
kept
shit.
safe by Minerva, used to project
Pretended
this
to be
moment.
with the Animus people, research people. Then she was like, you know, I'm an assassin. But then throughout it all, you find out she's a Templar, and then you're
After the
Juno's
temple was
like,
sealed, she
you know
transferred
what?
her
Stab, stab,
consciousness
stab
to the
this
temple,
chick. We don't
to
need
the
her
first
in this
civilization
journey.
computational hardware within it, to be immortal but trapped. Whatever her plan was before her treachery was discovered, she now had thousands of years and the power of the temple to communicate through the pieces of Eden scattered throughout the world, to communicate with humanity through time. The tribe of the Mohawk Valley, Subject 16, with Desmond, to formulate a new plan to free herself and set about conquering the Earth. Her message to Desmond
This
in the
bitch
temple
wants to conquer
under the
the Earth.
Colosseum as he stepped towards Lucy, blade drawn, was cryptic.
It is done. The way lies all before you. Only she remains to be found. Awaken the sixth.
In the Grand Temple, as Desmond placed those power sources, Juno talked of 6 methods the first civilization attempted to save the world. The 6th of those she described was transcendence. She was saved, but trapped by the 6th method, and she needed to be free, to be awakened. What she needed was a spark. Desmond's high concentration of first civilization DNA. The touch from him would activate the towers that took so long to build. They would absorb the sun's power, saving the world, but somehow transferring Juno to another vessel, one in which she can leave these walls, seek the power she craves, and an opportunity to punish, enslave the species she so despises. Minerva's message to the assassins is that it's too late. In touching the pedestal, the catastrophe may be averted, but a worse catastrophe would take its place.
Only touch the pedestal and the world will be saved. Better the world.
Yep, everyone's using Desmond. Like, every step of the way. It's like Ezio's been used, Subject 16's been used
Minerva long ago
for this
divined what
grand
would happen
scheme.
when the sun's rays hit. The world would burn. Its people would perish save a lucky few. The few, people like Desmond and his fellow assassins, safe underground, protected. When they emerged, Desmond would become a leader amongst them, inspiring unity to rebuild, to be at one with each other in peace. That word would spread and take seed, but in time, like all great leaders, his body would fail. Those words would be taken and corrupted, and the cycle of humanity's failings would begin again.
So tell me, how is this better?
So basically what they're saying there is, no matter if you just destroy the world and you continue as you are, Desmond could come out and have all this prophecy shit and then have these new doctrines and whatever policies and lead these people to greatness. But then later in time, they're basically saying someone's going to come along and corrupt the shit out of it. You're going to have groups that are going to split off and go, you know what? Fuck you what you say. This is what I think. And the world's going to be right where it was before you restarted civilization. The never-ending cycle of good versus evil, making choices, and the greed.
But it's freedom? What future? What freedom? Billions dead and the whole cycle begun anew?
Enough!
The whole cycle anew. So Desmond's at a point where he has to make a
Juno's
choice.
planning, however terrible it might seem today, we'll find a way to stop it. But the alternative, what you want, there's no hope there. It's done, Minerva. The decision's made.
Save the world, but free a tyrant. That is the decision. Desmond will not wipe the slate clean, killing billions. However bleak the state of the world, however terrible the things to come, there are still assassins.
So that's a choice he had to make.
Dedicate their lives to
free this
changing,
tyrant, or like destroy the world and start anew.
Those that look to oppress it.
You need to go. All of you. Now. Get as far away from here as you can. Son.
In his time in the temple, Desmond achieved something he never thought he would.
Yep.
He became his father's son again. Desmond is the world's savior, but his father and his fellow assassins will be its hope. They must live on.
It's already started. I need to do this now. So go. Go!
Hi, Angus.
Desmond is not
Welcome
the boy
back.
he was that fled from the farm all those years ago. He ran from a cause he felt was not his. His father knew he was special, so wanted him to be prepared. Abstergo knew he was special and slaved him to the Animus. The ones that came before knew he was special and pulled all the strings.
So special. Desmond is so special.
But he was no longer.
He's going to have to die for it.
This was his cause, his choice. And in touching the pedestal, he would give humanity a chance, however small, to be free.
He's given everyone a chance to right some wrong. Basically, he's giving humanity more time.
It is done. The world is saved.
We're doing great. We're fantastic. We're already at AC3. And now this lady's out and about.
To be continued.
And what we're up to now is that Desmond is fucked. That's for sure. Oh, welcome Angus to the the ads.
This video is powered by patrons. See the link in the description and learn.
This is
the 7th installment in my story
Edward.
Summary series of the entire Assassin's Creed franchise.
Edward is
and you can view the previous 6 in the
everyone's
playlist
fave.
link below. I'm a video game storyteller. I'm currently focusing on the Assassin's
Oh yeah,
Creed
sorry bro, we're just gonna skip your
task of retelling the stories that exist within it. I've also
This is Edward. He is
Bonavista, June 17.
one of the reasons why these characters are so loved is that they have such conflict. So Edward isn't the typical hero. He's sort of like a guy that likes to do whatever the fuck he wants.
The hail of cannon shots and shards of splintered wood that Edward first saw what he later
Chocolate boo.
as an assassin.
Yeah.
His bearing, the silhouette of his clothes, his posture and gravitas. An image so striking to Edward because he spent his life daydreaming about becoming such a man.
Yeah, cool.
He left English shores through the Bristol Channel with sea.
Left English shores.
By the crown.
Yo, bro.
Spanish ships and keep the.
So you end up shipwrecked. This is the start of Edward's story.
He is alive.
Then you meet this guy.
Good for you as well. I must get to Havana. I can pay.
You can tell that this guy's an assassin because of his emblem.
You don't have that gold on you now, do you?
And Edward's just like, yo, you got any gold on you? Then you chase after the bastard.
Yes, and he might have money. And that blade, that mesmerizing blade.
Whew. Then you kill the bastard.
Bests the hooded man.
And then you take his shit because you're a pirate.
Is a glass trinket, papers including maps, and a letter.
Senor Duncan Walpole, if you truly possess the information we desire, we have the means to reward you.
Drag this guy in the bush. You're like, no one here, no one here.
Recognize the costume made infamous by your secret order.
The letter is signed Governor
Strip the guy down.
Torres. Edward has a plan. The blade won't function as demonstrated. This may give him away. He begrudgingly disposes of them. The clothes fit perfectly, like he was born to it. His shoulders naturally pulled back. He feels a foot taller.
Edward is... It's a significant thing about Edward throwing the blade away because he's a guy that's just straight up like hack and slash. That's his vibe.
This man looked. It's as if by putting on these clothes, Edward
goes to Havana. Go see some people. He's like, yo, what's up?
Himself, now charged
I'm gonna
by the
meet
English
these
Navy
Templars and pretend I'm a
He
I'm
wasn't
a dude.
Duncan, he was Edward, but new and improved. But for now, he was Duncan, until he could get what was coming to him.
Grandmaster Torres, Mr. Duncan Walpole has arrived.
You were expected 1 week ago.
Apologies, Governor. My ship
He
was set
pretends
upon
to be
by
the guy he just killed.
Were you able to salvage from these pirates the items you promised me?
Yes, sir, I was.
Oh, Fallout 4. I need to get back into that. I haven't played for a very long time.
Was a disgruntled assassin and was using these secrets and artifacts possessed by the West Indies Brotherhood of Assassins to grease the wheels of transition to an order in opposition to them. A group Edward had never heard of, but as he would soon find out, long knew
a Templars.
Edward was about to be inducted into the Templars. A group that spans the world, and here in this
So this
part
is
of
the
world,
opposite. So
has
he's put on a thing and
influence
he's
within
pretending
all
to be someone he's not.
governments, the British, the Spanish,
And then he's like,
and Portuguese.
gonna get inducted into the Templars.
The secret and true legislatures of the world.
But
Please,
Edward's
hold
not
out
someone
your
who
hand.
likes to follow other
Edward
people's
had seen the
rules.
cross that adorned these rings before. The last time, not long before he took to sea. Caroline Scott, the woman he impressed enough to call his wife, was from a rich, influential family, and her father opposed the marriage, withheld a dowry, and persisted in trying to split them up.
This tosspot is a ruined man, Caroline. Unfit for life on land, much less at sea.
Unfit for life on land.
The order Caroline's father
Get rid of this
Scott belonged
bastard.
to, but he used his influence within it to aid in ridding Edward Kenway from his daughter's life. Emmett wore Caroline down to return to the family home. He also used his connections to warn Edward away for good by setting fire to the family farm and beating Edward. He agreed to leave for the West Indies but vowed to return a man of means. He left with a souvenir, a scar from a ring worn by Emmett's associates in the shape of a cross.
So he's looking at that cross
He
going,
recognised that ring
oh,
and that cross here. As far as
this lady I
Edward was
wanted to
concerned,
marry
this group had hurt his family.
is
driven a wedge
associated
through his marriage. These
with
were not the
this
friends he
group.
wanted, but he wasn't leaving without his reward. And in waiting for this reward, he was to hear what the Templar Order sought most.
See, he's
To
just
track down
there
an artifact
to get
that
the
would
reward.
galvanise
He's like,
their
I don't give a
power
shit about
and help
being
them
inducted.
truly
Just
control
tell
the
me
world.
about the reward.
For
How
more
much
than
money are we
2
talking?
decades, Lorino had been entrusted by the Templar Council to find a mythical device known as the Observatory.
A device that would grant us the power to locate and monitor every man and woman on Earth, whatever their location.
Here in the West Indies, Edward resolves to take the
So you go through.
Walpole.
What is your true name?
Here in the West Indies.
I skipped a little bit too far.
Edward is far from happy with what he's received. He wanted a clean break with a fortune, but Lorino seemingly has further plans for him. Edward has no love for the Templar cause. Why should he assist them further for such scant reward?
No love for
Edward
anything.
resolves to take the prize of the observatory for himself, to free the sage.
That's typical
to
Edward.
convince him to
He's
divulge
basically
the
like, you know
observatory
what? You're not
location
giving my
and sell it to the
reward.
highest
I'm
bidder.
going to take
Free
it
the sage
myself.
for the riches, yes, but Edward has never held with the sight of a man in chains. Always a pirate at heart.
There we go,
freedom
pirate
is
at
a
heart.
state held dear to Edward. Spanish bodies. What's happened? Whether the Templars had deduced before or Edward's mere presence at the site of the escaped sage had revealed him, they knew he wasn't Duncan Walpole.
What is your true name, Rogue?
Yep, find out his little shenanigans. You're not Duncan.
Captain, piss off. Where is the sage?
Captain, piss
Set him
off.
free.
Yeah,
I had
fuck.
nothing to do with that. Much as I wish I did. Take him to the ports. Send him to Sevilla with the treasure fleet.
Edward is shackled
That's exactly
in a
it,
ship
Drake.
bound for Spain.
Steal from the rich and give
Horace
to.
does not wish
Oh,
the
thanks.
imposter dead. He is to send him back to the Order back in Spain, who can aim to extract more from him. Besides, the ship is bound for Spain anyway. On it are all and piles
So this
of
is
Spanish
where you
gold
get
headed to Europe. Just a trunk
the shit that
of
you
this
want.
would allow him to return home to the bottom of the sea.
And you take a ship with you. You're like,
Edward
sweet,
had
I'm gonna
lost
steal the ship.
fortune in his grasp, but he had won the next
Then
best
once you
thing.
have your ship,
He had
you're
taken
well
the
on
ship
your
for his
way to be a
prize.
pirate.
This one home.
It may not look it with its shanties and dishevelled populace, but to a pirate, this was paradise. Rich in
Paradise.
food, resources, materials for ship repair,
So
easily
what
defendable
Black
with its
Flag
narrow
did
cove
that
and shallow
Assassin's
waters,
Creed
and the fort's
3
high
didn't
vantage
have
point
was
could
there
see
was a
aggressors
little bit
coming
more
from
to it.
miles
It's sort of
away.
taken the
Here
same
you could
basis. You
almost
got
kid
your
yourself.
tree
The
running, your
pirate
parkour,
age
all the
would last
Assassin's Creed
forever.
shit that you expect.
You could be free.
But now you got a ship,
By God,
and
you're
you've
a
also
sight
got
for salty
Edward,
eyes.
which
Come
is
you in and have a
very
drink.
Edward knew this island well, and he knew the
charismatic in
founders
his
of this
own
pirate
way,
republic.
likes
His
to
mentor,
drink. Everyone loves a sort
Thatcher's
of
former mentor,
Captain Jack Sparrow
and
vibe.
another pirate.
James
He's
Kidd.
pretty much all for himself.
Adewale, the Jackdaw's quartermaster.
That guy there,
You named your brig after
Adewale, I believe he's got his own
Despite
little
the teasing, these men want the best for Edward.
Assassin's
They know
Creed
what he's
game. I
capable
think it's
of,
him.
But they also have experience as ship captains themselves that they wish to impart to Edward in his early days with the Jackdaw.
Well, I'm going to teach you how
Let's
to sail
do.
right, and how to take a prize the proper way.
Here we go.
How a ship should be tamed, approached,
Having ship
boarded,
fights,
and taken.
all the Assassin's Creed stuff as well on top of that. This game was absolutely fantastic.
So much
You
from
could
it.
even hunt whales, you had little
more
swimming expeditions for treasure.
A few drops of blood.
This was pretty much the pinnacle of Assassin's Creed. It was sort of like a build-up, had great story,
This one's yours. Fly it
and then you
proud.
got to Black Flag, and then
He's graduated.
after that, we all know where it sort of started going.
Lads.
Nassau is a haven for the pirates, but with more governmental intervention on
So,
piracy throughout
Brotherhood,
the world, it has received
by
attention.
far, is my favourite based
British
on
have been
just
cited.
Ezio and his story and how the Assassin's Creed universe came to be.
A
Whereas
shipload
Black
can be dealt
Flag
with,
would
but what
be,
if this is the first ship of many?
I guess it would be more or less the best Assassin's Creed game to play because it had all the best parts of Assassin's Creed. I mean, you still had the
Edward Thatch has a plan
assassinations
to
and
steal a Spanish galleon.
killing people,
This
but
won't trouble the
who
English.
doesn't love
Position all the guns
going
to
around
one
in your
side
boat
and moor
and
the ship in the harbour.
killing
The
everything,
first
taking
and
on the
deadly line of
forts?
defence against approaching enemy ships.
You're singing your sea shanties as you go.
Full Spanish galleon. Have you one in mind?
I do.
This game here, you'll notice there is no
And slow.
Desmond Miles. Desmond Miles does not appear because Desmond Miles is no longer
The
there.
biggest ship Edward had ever even thought of taking. These pirates'
So
goals
here we
are
go. Wait a
lofty,
minute.
but to
Let's
protect
go.
everything they
Let's jump to
regret
the end here.
and hope in equal. Aita, John is a sage.
You saw my beloved Juno, and for a brief moment, I thought she might occupy this tender body of yours. But something went wrong, for the world is nearly ready for her return. Wired.
He's talking about Juno.
For a second coming.
Second coming of Juno or some shit.
Those Templars. Or maybe assassins this time. Idiots. All of them.
He's neither an assassin or a
Aita's
Templar.
last act is to inject us with poison, perhaps a last-dish hope of weakening our body for Juno to enter it. But his body won't live to see it.
Now! He's got a gun! Guide me into the grave, beloved! I am your instrument! Drop your weapon!
And this guy's dead.
Are you okay? Can you hear me? Hello? Talk to me.
We are okay. The poison, far from a lethal dose. Our culpability for the leaks and corporate espionage was covered up by John. Life returns to normal, but we are forever changed. This company has secrets and goals that need uncovering.
So
know
what
the
they have
location
in
of the
this
observatory,
is,
but
you will notice, hold on, where are we? Right there. So this here is when Assassin's Creed started turning this Abstergo company into it became a business for games. So it's sort of like put a spin on things where they're like, you know what, Abstergo is not just a research company trying to find these artifacts. They turn it into an entertainment industry, and it's almost like this, you're reliving these memories as basically to have fun. And then in the later Assassin's Creed series, they turn it into, I think it gets turned into a game. where they're like, you want to be an assassin? So it's kind of like this weird, iconic mirror image of what we're doing. We're playing Assassin's Creed, but in the Assassin's Creed universe, you're playing someone else who is playing Assassin's Creed. And why is Ubisoft trying to make this so complicated? I mean, I can understand the reference and how in depth they want to go with this, but you can tell they had no backstory for Abstergo. Black Flag had very little Desmond Mile backstory. There was no external character that you really got to play besides that last little segment that you see and potentially the beginning. It's just some random guy that got caught, and you know, you heard the crazy fella where he's like, I am a vessel for you, Juno. I am gonna make you have your second coming. But you know, not in that weird vibe, but you know, that revival of Juno and her goals of taking over the world and being the all-powerful hungry bitch that wants to rule the world and destroy all humanity. But 100%, out of all these games, if you want to enjoy, because I know, Drake, you hadn't played any of them, if you excuse the backstory of the entire Assassin's Creed universe and you're just in it for the gameplay, Black Flag is going to be your jam. It's going to have a little bit of everything, but if you really want that RPG element, I would suggest either Odyssey or Valhalla. Shadows at this point, I don't know, I haven't seen much, and, you know, a little bit scared. Rogue and Liberation, these are small games. Liberation's about, to be honest, I can't remember, some chick liberating, freeing the people. Rogue is the backstory of Henway, basically Edward's father's, is it Edward's father's backstory, I think? There's just so much bullshit going on. This is like trying to keep up with all those 10 movies that we can't keep up with anymore. So you know what? Let's jump straight into... Let's skim through. Let's show you a little bit of Unity, just so you can see what Unity was. The Unity is based in the French... I think it's a French one. You know what they do? Ubisoft likes to travel around the world. That's what they do. I mean, I was really excited for this game because it looked amazing, but people were a little bit disappointed when it came out because they announced multiplayer for this. There is some multiplayer in some of the previous games where you're doing some shit, but this was the first one, multiplayer co-op, and things did not go according to plan. Yeah, some of the Assassin's Creed were remastered. I believe you can get the trilogy on the console. One, I think it's 2, Brotherhood, and 3. I'm not too sure if this is the French Revolution. Might be the French Revolution. They kind of like, you know what? Since we did the American Revolution, let's do the French one. These are the 4 assassins where they're trying to advertise the, look guys, you can do co-op 4-player. It was a great idea. But look at that. Seamless. No, not for you today. Here we go. Yeah. Got new weapons. Working together as a team. Fantastic. I mean, this trailer was amazing. Gameplay was good. There was a lot of bugs on initial launch. But, you know, Ubisoft doesn't like to perfect things. Unlike other companies where they kind of just work on it until it's freaking A-game perfection. He's like, do it! Do it, I dare you! He's like, who are you? And then all the people come in and they're like, yeah, we got him! And the assassins are like, we're just doing this for the people! Unite! Unity! When was this? This has got to be, yeah, 10 years ago? But that looks pretty nifty. Then we've got Syndicate. Syndicate was... This is when they introduced 2 players, 2 playable characters. To a certain extent. Brought us to London. Had a little bit more of a industrial feel. Obviously the multiplayer didn't work out, so they're like, oh, you know what, we'll cut that in this one. And get chips. Fish and chips. Get out of here, you bastard.
I think you got the message.
Here's Jacob. And his rooks.
Come on, hurry up! The fun never stops. Come on, look lively, Rooks.
There we go. You get to have your little gang. These are little urchins that you know, put in the factories. I'm not kidding, you actually go into some factories and free the children. Assassin time. Come on, look lively, fellas. Get on with it. Shove it into your pants. You've got carriage racing. Fantastic. I don't know what it was. I tried to recently get back into Syndicate. And I liked Eve, the sister of Jacob. And I liked the banter. But the gameplay was just not doing it for me. I found it boring after a while. You play for the players and you're like, okay, yeah. It just didn't keep me attracted to it. Here's the factory. Oh, poor children. Put them in the chimneys. Yeah, leading the children in there. Typical Londoners, always utilising the kids. Gotta kill them all. Throw them in the barrels. Smash them in the face. Kill the Templar. Put him in the fire. Do it. Now he just hangs.
Wait! I'll let you take it from here, lads.
Then his rooks come in. His gang is like, yo. Oh, no, I think I had the opposite effect. The longer I played, I was like, yeah, it's not doing it for me. Like, I really want to play it, but it just wasn't doing it.
Try the bitter. Who's that? It's actually quite drinkable.
It's actually quite drinkable.
Toast your noble boss, this thief of children. Or you could do better. Join me. Join the Rooks.
It's him trying to take over someone else's gang. He's like, yo, you join me, brothers. Who's with me?
Go get him.
Jacob, Mr. Fry, listen. We can split the money. I mean, just take it all.
Just take it all. Nah, shove it in your face.
Rooks with me.
Here we go, takes over the gang.
Come on, or soon enough.
He's like, join me instead. Brother, just join me. Easy as that. Okay, so this is for you, Drake. Not this ad. I did not plan this ad for you, but you're welcome to go shopping there. So this is Odyssey. I feel like it's very much the environment that keeps you attached to the game. I'm not a huge fan of the Egyptian sort of styled games or theme. I much enjoyed Odyssey. The only issue I had with Odyssey is it was so freaking big. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is such a massive game. You can sink hours into it and still feel like you haven't completed anything. And that is one of the main things, or the main reason why I didn't finish Odyssey or get very far, is there was just so much shit to do. And I'm a 100%er. I like to do the little side quests and everything. I'm going to try and spend as much time as I can playing the game, but if there's too many side quests, I'm going to get distracted. I don't have time to finish it. I just want to go from start to finish in, you know, a week or two. That's my expectation for a game. Yo, I'm not... I'm not saying anything, Drake. But yes, Egypt. Well, guess where we're going next? Because after Egypt, we're going to Greece. This is Bayek. And this game is more RPG based. This is at the point that Assassin's Creed took a turn and decided they'll take a... They wanted to have a bite of the RPG genre, and they lost a fair amount of players doing this. I mean, they had already lost quite a few people when it came to Unity and then Syndicate. People were like, And then they went for the Switch. You know what? They're like, oh, people aren't enjoying these games. Let's, you know, rehash what we're doing here at Ubisoft and rehash our entire series. And they decided, you know what? Let's make an RPG. You know, you pick up items. They have different levels and tiers. And we'll go with that. Not that one. I want that one. I want this one.
Okay, class.
So disappointed. Such a disappointing stream when I give you ads, eh? See, look, now we're at Egypt, and then
You're old enough now.
Now we're in Greece, Athens. This is also another game where they're like, you know what, 2 playable characters, or you get to make a choice between a female and a male, and they end up the one that you don't play ends up still being in the storyline.
Isn't enough to make you unite the people of Greece.
I know this is still ongoing. For Sparta! So there's you. That's the main dude. I love the little spear. I've actually still got the figurine for Odyssey. It's like a big, massive 20cm figurine. You got your horsies. You got things you gotta fight. Epic journeys. You got a little bit of ships. When I say a little bit of ships, I mean not too much. God, that's loud. Oh, that's a good point. That's what Assassin's Creed has come about. You can tell when it first started, they had a plan. It was just like, oh yeah, we'll go from here to, you know, Florence. We'll keep it with the same guy, so that's why they had Ezio had his 3 games, so they kept it tight. They kept the universe tight, going, you know what, keep the same character, his story continues, and we'll just sort of change it up, make it very dynamic, drama, loss, heartache, everything, so it was great. Then they had Connor. Connor was obviously an alright addition, but that just continued Desmond's story. Cool. Then you got Black Flag. Black Flag was a great game, but it had none of the backstory outside of the Animus. You can go on forever. At Assassin's Creed, you can make a zillion different games. Unfortunately for Ubisoft, they eventually got to the point where they just pissed off other people. They're like, you know what, you're just shitting on different cultures and things. That's pretty much the vibe we're getting once we get to Shadows. So Odyssey, then we had Mirage. Mirage. Where's my Mirage? Mirage Mahama. This one I did finish. Why? Because it was a short freaking game. There was nothing super massive about it. The story was okay. I enjoyed the story. I loved the lady. This lady here with her voice, she's just such a great voice actor.
Ready to sacrifice everything you have.
Greed did get them, yes.
I am.
Are you ready to leave your life behind and walk the path of shadows?
This is the bit where he cuts off his finger. So some of these Assassin's Creed games, they sort of go forward in time and then they sort of take it back. So Mirage is taken back before, obviously, Syndicate, because Syndicate's more like industrial. There's the chronological order of the what happens, and then there's the actual release order of the games. So you do have to be aware of that. Yeah, it did take it back to the original. So this one, they tried to bring back the original vibe of Assassin's Creed. They mention the... There you go. There's a ceremony where you like...
Never forget the tenets you have.
So those are the tenets that they have, which is what the tenets that I think Altair made, which is the whole point of the Brotherhood.
Stay your blade from the flesh of
Yep,
the
don't kill the
innocent.
innocents.
Hide in plain sight.
Hide in plain sight. Bringing it back, bringing it back.
Never compromise the brotherhood.
Never compromise the Brotherhood. You'll recognize the same thing of what was said in the first Assassin's Creed. This is where this game got it right in a way. It wasn't an amazing game, but it was passable in terms of bringing back the original AC without adding a whole lot of bullshit that you did not need.
From this day forward,
What are you talking about, bro? It is gone. Yeah, don't you throw dirt in my eyes. I'll put the knife in your neck. And that was Mirage. That's the only game that I've finished recently for Assassin's Creed. As sad as it is, this had a bit of darkness to it. I honestly cannot remember what it was. I think there's a bit of like this weird thing happening inside of him. His brain, not like a physical thing. Then we go over to, is this your favorite? You want to play some Vikings? Not this one. Not Magic. One day I'll get rid of the ads, but let's be honest, I'm a cheap bastard. We are only accepting free shit.
They are heartless.
Valhalla, before we go on to this, so Valhalla was, out of the 3 recent ones, let's not include Shadows, Valhalla actually did better than Odyssey and Origins in the regard that they actually pulled back from all the bullshit and tried to condense it down into just make it a fairly simple. Because if you went to look at the map of Odyssey, when you play Odyssey, it's got so much shit, the world's massive, you're gonna be sinking hours and hours into this. So like if you do enjoy the game, great. But if you're just trying to finish the game, you're like, oh my goodness. And I want to get 100%, so that means I have to do all the side quests, get all the collectibles and everything, and it's just too much for my OCD brain to be like, I need to get everything, 100%. So then I just give up on the whole thing. But Valhalla kept it simple. They've got a few sparkly dots on the map, which was brilliant for my brain to be able to comprehend and go, oh, that gold dot represents loot and this blue dot represents a side mission. And you just sort of find it in the area on the map and then you just do it. And it's nothing complicated. There's nothing that you have to be like, oh, man, this is too tedious. Valhalla toned it back a significant amount, which I'm very glad. It's probably one of the games that have gone RPG based that I will actually finish. I keep trying to go back to it and then I get bored, and I think that's just my focus on the story and everything else, because it is still a massive world. Origins, I know I will never finish. Odyssey, I know I'll never finish just because of how much I want to. I just want to finish everything. That's just the main thing, and that's what I hate about games that I get so massive, but all this little filler they put in it doesn't do it for me. Some of these side missions are so boring. They're just like, can you go get me something from the shop? Can you go find this? And you're just like, is this a Skyrim filler, just fetch quest? Don't put that shit in there. Even though they've built up on all these little side missions in Assassin's Creed, they do nothing for me. I mean, you could change the face of the character, and if they're still telling me to do the same shit, it's the same thing. Or they might have a little bit of backstory being like, oh, my son died last winter and I need this to survive. Can you help me? Blah, blah, blah. And then later on you meet someone else and they'll be like, oh, my husband is in the forest. Can you go help me and find him? Great. I just want a juicy story. I don't need all this bullshit. It better be concise. It better be interesting. Just keep me engaged. Valhalla's like halfway there. I promise you I will finish this one. I will finish this one, okay, Drake? I will finish this one day. But I feel like I'm going to probably play Shadows before I go back to this one. Because I am playing Shadows. Regardless of what people think of a particular game, I will always check out the game myself. If you love the Vikings, this is where everyone got more into AC, was when Odyssey and the Vikings came out. You'll be surprised. So this game came out not long after the TV show, those Viking TV shows were out and about, Game of Thrones, and so they're just jumping onto this theme where people are like, oh, everyone seems to be into Vikings these days, let's make a Viking game.
They will understand.
The same is said for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Ghost of Tsushima did so well, and you've got Valhalla's not new, Shadows is the newest one, if that's what you're referring to. Yes, Vikings, that's the one. That TV show, this game came out not long after the peak of that show, when everyone was like, I love Vikings! And, you know, Ubisoft has done great on a business sense of things. If people are loving a particular genre, make a game in it. And that's where Assassin's Creed Shadows has come in. Because you've got a lot of Japanese-based games or themes that have done amazing. You've got that Rise of the Ronin. I need to play that at some point. Then you have obviously Ghost of Tsushima. I can't even pronounce this. I'm waiting for the Viking version of Medieval Dynasty. Yes, I have that. I think I've got that on my list. But yes, so Shadows is just straight up following a trend. That's all these games are. They are following a trend.
Odin is with us!
Odin is with us! Stab in the leg. Bro. I have to say, they make the people they fight so strong. Like, imagine if... I don't know how many people would be able to withstand that, being stabbed in the leg. And... except this guy decided that instead of having the hidden blade hidden, he's like, you know what, I'm a Viking, I don't hide my weapons. I'm going to show you my weapon straight up in your face. Pretty much punching action. Okay, here's medieval style. Here's where it gets juicy. You know what, let's... This is where we're all coming for. We've come for this. It's taken us a long while to remind us how we got here. We've gone through majority of the Assassin's Creed story and, well, the main story of Desmond Miles, which is the important one, and then everything after that's kind of just filler. Let's have a look at what people like to say about this at the moment. And I'm not saying that this game sucks, because I have not played it. And I'm not going to lie, I am looking forward to this building shit. I don't know why, but if you like building games, you'll know what I mean. You know, you get to play an assassin and then you get to come home to your little home base and you're like, let's play some buildings. These are your RPG elements there. You've got your horse, which is... This looks very clean. I like the colours. This is looking great. Obviously, you've still got your levels. Assuming that's a extra item that you probably just put on your sash that does something special. Which is this, the Blessing. Legendary Trinket. I don't know how many levels are going to be in this game. Looks like you carry a couple of weapons and you've got your main armor plus the whatever this is. Sure, something that covers your face. There's definitely going to be nothing disastrous about Assassin's Creed. However, it's not the best game Ubisoft could have done. And that's pretty much where they kind of went wrong, is over time they've been dishing out these games telling everyone, we made an amazing game, it's going to be beautiful. And then they give us, you know, an okay game. They give us a good game. Like, you play it, it'll be up some people's alley, and for some people they were like, you know what, this is boring. What bullshit is this? And it's all going to come down to what games you prefer to play. You're going to have people that are going to come from the original AC and go, this game is kind of there. And then you're going to have other people like, I want more RPG elements. You're gonna piss somebody off. And what they've done is they've got two different... Hold on. They've got two different people that you can play. Where's my images? Give me my images. No, they don't give me images. So they give you Nano. Is it Nano? What? Huh?
And his men spare no one.
What? I did not catch a word she said.
We have ways to banish such darkness.
You got two playable characters. Oh, she ran up that real fast. If anything, I'll be playing this chick. Oh, more the original AC stealthy shit. Then you've got this brother. An actual brother. Who is more like a hack and slash and just bulldoze your way through a freaking door.
One warrior stands upon the battlefield.
Yes, never get anything when it first comes out. I always wait for the discount and then I go, yep. Unless I really want to play something and I know I'm going to love it, I'm not spending all my hard-earned cash.
By blood. Adapt to every condition.
I mean, looking at this, like, nothing really excites me because it's like it's something I've seen before.
Of your spirit. Remember, justice is forged.
Justice is forged.
In the shadows.
In the shadows. I love how it's like justice is forged in the shadows. And then you've got this guy who you know is going to be going, ah, and he just bulldozes his way through. So if you see any gameplay of Assassin's Creed Shadows, you know I don't even know his name. He's gonna smash his way through. He's gonna bulldoze his way through. He's gonna break down doors. He's gonna break people's backs. He is very much the upfront assault fella, while she, on the other hand, is an actual shinobi who's gonna be doing all the stealth stuff. And that's where I lay with the stealth. And I can see where they're going with this. They're like, you know what, we'll cater to the people that want to do the stealth and want to be an actual assassin. Then we're going to have the people that like the RPG hack and slash vibe. We'll give them this big guy who can just, you know, whack someone to the ground. Then we kind of play into both worlds. And I can understand why they did that. They probably could have gone without it like they have in the other previous games, because people are like, you know what, just give us one character, just give us one person where we can concentrate on their one story. This guy's not in the shadows. I mean, to be honest, he's made of shadows, but he's not in the shadows. That's for sure. He's too obvious. And then they have building up. That's the thing. I'm actually, to be honest, I'm excited about that. I mean, let's have a look at what they say about it. I mean, explore the captivating open world of feudal Japan, from spectacular castle towns and bustling ports to peaceful shrines and war-ravaged landscapes. Adventure through unpredictable weather, changing seasons, and reactive environments. Yes, we see that in other games, so this is almost like it's not a given in all the games, but if you have this included, it makes the game so much more dynamic and alive. Then you've got Neo, Shinobi Assassin, and Yasuki, Legendary Samurai. So you've got one of each. So OG Assassin fans are going to be going down this route. They're going to want to play the Assassin. Whereas the people who have come into Assassin's Creed universe, jumping on board during the RPG times, you're highly likely going to pick the Samurai. Because you're what? Just hack and slash. That's the vibe. RPGs aren't made for assassins. That's kind of where you've got the clash as well. Yes, nothing in this is new. If anything, it's like Ubisoft is still trying to fine-tune what the hell they're trying to do, and as well as they're trying to capitalize on what people want, which is people love games in feudal Japan because those other games did so well, so we're going to make sure that we do that too, and they're always coming in just after the peak. And I imagine there's going to be a shift away from these Japanese games in the next year or so, where people are like, you know what, let's go, and there's going to be another theme that's going to pop up. I don't know, it could go back to the Vikings, it could go back to I don't know, somewhere in Africa or something, or Egypt, and people are going to be like, oh, let's do this one again. Or it could go back to like medieval times, where medieval games are going to make a rise in power again. It's going to change. Build your own network of spies to be your eyes and ears across the locations to hunt down your next target. Who's the eyes? This is for you and me. This is for you and me. If you like building, build a place to call home. So not only do you get to create and build, I imagine you get to walk around in this area. Fully customizable hideout for your growing Shinobi League. So I don't know how much your growing Shinobi League. So this line here, I know they're trying to please those of us who enjoyed Brotherhood, which is be able to build your own crew, have your Shinobi League, have them help you, help do missions and everything. how much that is actually in the game, I don't know. We will find out when we actually start playing. At this point, we're just speculating and judging, because that's what you do. I'm going to judge games based on what they put here. Yeah, building type games are definitely going to come in the forefront. You're right with the Minecraft game. I actually had a friend who watched the movie. He was like, oh, fuck this Minecraft movie. But he went to go see it with his friend, and he was like, I was laughing the whole time. So, and I knew that the Minecraft movie, we're going off track here, but the Minecraft movie is tailored in such a way that it's going to please kids. It's one of those kids movies that, regardless of how adults feel, where adults are like, I played Minecraft when I was 10, well, how dare they make a movie about this shit, and this looks dumb. Kids are going to love it. You got Jack Black, you've got Jason Momoa, you got other people in it, and I haven't seen it, but I imagine the movie is funny and it's engaging and people are going to love it, and people have loved it because that movie has made millions of dollars already. It's surpassed some of the other major movies already. And even though the Minecraft game it's got no story to it, so they could almost, it was very easy for them just to make up a story about Steve. In the Minecraft game, you basically got these characters, they got Steve, but there was no story for them. So they could easily come along and go, we're going to base this movie off of these characters that already have no backstory. Should they have done an actual brick version? I would have liked to have seen that, but again, yeah. So looking at some of these reviews, let's go through some of this. Some of these, okay, so this one here, I know this is going to be true for this game because I can already see from what I've seen, it's got the building, it's got the shinobi leg. They've pulled some of the best parts of their previous installments and tried to shove it into this game. And people are obviously going, this actually feels like an Assassin's Creed game. Great. And that's what people have wanted. They were just like, can you just tone down the other bullshit, make it what Assassin's Creed should be about? Yeah, so this person is on the same page as me. So it's an actual Assassin's Creed game, unlike the last couple of installments in the series, which I would 100% agree with. I didn't particularly like where they were going. They basically just pulled out the assassin part of everything and kind of just, you might as well just turn Assassin's Creed game into a hitman / just kill someone game. Because you weren't really being an assassin. You were just killing people that were in your way. And it came across as more of like a gang. Like Valhalla is basically you and your Vikings, and you're just like, you know what, let's raid places, which you can actually do in the game. You raid different places, you steal loot, and you kill people, just straight up. There is no sort of assassination part really to it. So stealth is fun, combat isn't bad, the game is real nice if you can handle it. It's okay. A lot of people are saying there's mediocre gameplay. That's where the split comes across as well. Ubisoft, like I mentioned many times before, has come across and saying, we've got a great game. Everyone has said, yeah, to Assassin's Creed Shadows, but it's not best. It's not going to be Game of the Year. I don't think it deserves Game of the Year, even though I haven't played it. Because there's certainly other games that are up there that I would be like, you know what, this is great. This game is definitely going to be like a 7 to maybe an 8 out of 10 game, depending on where you sit with the gameplay mechanics, and what you actually enjoy in a game. Right, what else we got? Someone's like, it does not revive the Assassin's Creed series. Significant changes to Ubisoft development software. Yes, I'm sure it does. It has not revived it. It, at this point, considering where this game is sitting, I know that Ubisoft is going through an absolute turmoil right now, because this game was meant to be like, it had to be up here for Ubisoft not to be going down here, and the game is kind of like here. It's a little bit above passable. It's going to be a good game, but it's not going to be an amazing game that everyone's going to be like, I'm going to play this a zillion times. A lot of the year. Yeah, there's already been other games that have come out. So definitely, this is not, nobody has talked about this game being Game of the Year. So you know it's not gonna be Game of the Year. Like when a game comes out, you know within a week or two whether it's gonna be Game of the Year. Like Split Fiction, that came out, was it a couple of weeks ago? I only saw a few snippets of that, and already I was like, that's gonna be a great game. So if anything, Split Fiction is gonna be right up there. There you go. Overrated by people who love, underrated by people who hate. That's what I think too. People who love Assassin's Creed are going to be like, oh, it's amazing. It's got this, it's got that. You can be an assassin. You can be a samurai. You can do a whole lot of shit. You can do some buildings. So amazing. And then you've got people who just shit on Ubisoft for the fact that they bring out games that aren't quite up to par. And they're sort of at the point where they're like, Assassin's Creed sucks. You got to play yourself to find out. And it looks amazing. Graphics, animation, fun style, fun combat. I've seen a few snippets of it. It looks pretty cool. Side activities are repetitive and boring. This is what I touched on before. Like we said, fetch quest, all the other shit. Ubisoft has been putting that in their games forever. A lot of games have a bad habit of doing this just to make the game a little bit longer, to make it seem like there's more to do. Don't worry about that. Unless the side activity is a intertwined mission where you have one mission and then later on down the track you come across the same person and their story continues. Unless you have that connection, there's no point giving me these side activities. Yeah, missed profits on this one. You are right. My chair's blimmin' sinking. Hold up. Ugh. Yeah, so this is pretty much where a lot of people are sitting. 7 out of 10. Some people like 6 out of 10. That's the type of games Ubisoft has been making for a very long time. Some of them more like a 4 and a 5. But when they put so much money into it, it kind of is like disappointing. And when you compare Ubisoft as a big massive company to indie developers that have like one sometimes or two people on the team just making this game, and you're like, yo, this game is amazing. Like, I believe it was Manlords, I think it was, that had one person. They created the whole freaking game by themselves. Took them obviously years to do it. game's good. I mean, it's not my vibe of game, but the game was good. It's fantastic for a lot of people. But it's... Don't be disappointing. You need to put a bit more love into it. And yeah. Oh, I love this. This review is still good. I love this review. I need to finish reading this. Sorry, I got distracted. You'll notice I get distracted very, very easily. Boss fights, cool. That's... They fight like clones of each other, so that's where they're missing. So what they've done is they've got so much little aspects of a game that they forget to develop one area. So if you've got boss fights, they're like, yeah, let's make a boss fight. And then what they do is they just duplicate the shit out of it and go, here's another boss fight. And it feels the same. This seems to be a common occurrence. People love it at first and then it gets a little bit repetitive. RPG elements, this is why I've never been a fan of the RPG elements. They tend to go all over the place. And it's not fun when they fuck it up. And this is where I agree. Mirage did have its flaws. It was like a good game, and it did take it back to the original OG Assassin's Creed vibe. And you're like, oh yeah, I could get into this. Then they're like, you know what, Ubisoft is going to go back to RPG, leveling. Yeah, copy and paste and boring things. They are notorious for this shit. Notorious. They do this every single time. You could play every single Assassin's Creed game when they started doing the RPG transition from Origins onwards. They were like, you know what, let's do more fetched quests, escort quest. You gotta talk to this person who's injured, go find their cat, some other shit. Like I said, when it comes to side quests, just have one story, have me talk to one character or a couple of characters. I do that quest, they have a little bit of backstory, and then you take that same character and let's say one chapter later on, I come across the same character and they're like on the side of the road doing some weird shit. I want that story of that character to continue, and then you do something else with them and then they're like, oh thanks, blah blah blah, cool, blah blah blah, bullshit, and then you see them again a couple of chapters down the road again. Make it progressive, make it interesting, continue their story. That's all you need for a little side mission. Have 3 little side missions for one character, and then you'll have a good side mission. Don't just make one side mission where you meet Mrs. Old Jericho and she tells you her cat's missing, so you go follow this trail with your eagle vision or some shit. Then you go find your cat is in the neighbour's yard, and then you gotta go back to Mrs. Jericho and say, oh yeah, your cat's in the neighbour's yard. And then she goes, oh, thank you for finding my cat. Oh, that silly neighbour is always stealing my cat. You know what? The next thing you need to do in that storyline is have Mrs. Jericho poison her neighbour. Then it makes an interesting side story. Way much better. And then after she poisons her neighbour, you have the neighbour gives you a story to go, oh, I've been poisoned. Can you find out who poisoned me? And then you confront Mrs. Jericho and go, what the fuck's going on here? You just poisoned your neighbour. And then she goes, oh no, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. And then you find out it's Mrs. Jericho's son who did the poisoning. But then the neighbour has then murdered Mrs. Jericho. You know what? It doesn't take much to sort of continue this weird little story, but at least it's a better mission than just fetching shit and coming back and going, thanks for the $50. Easy. Doesn't take much at all. You know what? we gotta dive deep into this. I want to see some gameplay. This is a bit of a spoiler for me because I haven't. Let's go with Red Bread. He's popular, brother.
And a taste that wows. Start your kid's day with Milo cereal.
Milo cereal.
And one of 6 McDonald's Minecraft collectibles.
Minecraft collectibles make a dice.
With your choice of any favorites medium combo.
Favorites medium combo.
With a Minecraft movie meal.
Minecraft movie meal. Beep, 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 beep. Just to be clear, this is not a paid advertisement thing. This is just extra free advertisement because I'm seeing the ad, then you're seeing the ad. This is just getting weird.
And you can kind of approach any quest you want at a certain point in the game.
So there you've got the dates on which these games were,
and I'm gonna tell you right now,
the chronological order of these games.
Get like 20 or 30,000 likes on this video.
On what?
Emerald ship. Okay, cool. This guy gets abducted. Here you go. So this is Big Brother. So I don't know if you get the option of choosing, or I'm assuming you switch in between each of these characters as you play. Hold on, I've freaking forgotten to put this on. I was watching this shit by myself.
Alright, Shinobi leaders, where are they at? Is it just one?
Here we go. Killing the shinobis. This is the Yasuki.
Alright, we got one shinobi right here.
Yeah, I forgot to switch, yeah.
Okay. I will admit the combat
Start it over. I'm not starting it over.
Well.
You're too bad.
Like the parry system? Very nice.
Alright, Red Bread, what do you got? So this looks actually amazing. I'm not too sure what he's playing on. I mean, look at that.
Can you feel the breeze, Yasuke?
Yasuke.
It fans the total destruction of Iga. A most perfect night.
Bro, he's huge because he's a brother, you know? A brother, a real brother.
At your command, my lord. What is it? I've never fought a battle like this.
Bro, that's you right there. That's you. That's you.
So many lives. Ever the righteous man. While Iga calls its unifier a tyrant, 40,000 of our countrymen ride with me. Is that tyranny, Yasuke? No. No, it is conviction.
Okay, what else have we got? Okay, so this is the guy who's... So this is what they're doing. They are pleasing to... If you like the samurai hack and slash, this is gonna be great for you.
I don't think we actually have to kill everybody, but might as well, right? We're already here. Let's get it going. He's top of the castle.
Top of the castle, brother. He's gonna be slower than... Nayo? Look, here you go. Here we go. Here's the switch over to the other assassin. Okay. Okay, Drac. There's a little bit of a controversy surrounding this.
We need a plan.
And...
Stuart, what do we do?
We ride to Iconi's shrine.
I think that's where they brought it in. They were like, you know what, there's this one black samurai. So they brought this guy in. But everyone's like...
Telling me anything. I can see it on your face. What was in Hattori Hanzo's letter?
You know, Ubisoft's not known to do things historically accurate.
Someone else is coming to Iga?
So I feel like this is to please the crowd and just sort of diversify for the sake of diversity as well.
I know you cannot tell me everything.
Because you've got a game that's set in feudal Japan and they specifically are like, you know what, there's this one black guy in history. Let's put him in it. Let's make a Japanese themed game about this one black guy.
So, a lot more preparing. I feel like you also gotta dodge a lot more, like I didn't do right there. Hold on.
Okay, so she's more nimble. You have to dodge a little bit more. She's fast. She's gonna be that little.
Tactical. Easy.
Yeah. Not as much power. You can tell she's taking on like one person and she's like struggling.
Poor horse, man. I gotta admit, the story so far has been really engaging. I like how it kind of shows both characters' angles.
So looking
like
at this,
this shows like how
this is
be,
pretty good.
I guess in each other's lives, essentially.
I'm waiting for her. Yeah, I don't want to get spoiled by the story. I just want to see the gameplay.
Stop. Just find the box.
Yeah, find the box. That was a nice slide.
He came up behind.
Yeah, I don't want to. Okay, let's see how the
Somewhere he feels safe.
assassin part of it is. Okay, she's in the bushes. She's in the haystack.
You bring him in there with
There we go. She gonna drop him in? Yep. That's what we want.
I can throw a kunai one-handed.
Oh, that's nice, lady.
Is it a kill though?
Oh, nice. One kill kunai. She's gonna be good.
So the
like
enemies
this.
like the heavy armor. I may kind of avoid them if I can.
There it is.
Oh, that's bringing it back. Bringing it back. The one thing I had about the previous Assassin's Creed series is they made jumping down and trying to one-shot people not a thing. They were like, you know what? You have to be a level higher than them and strong enough to actually assassinate them. And I'm like, that makes no sense. If you drop down and stab someone, they shouldn't be like, yo, you didn't get rid of all my health. I'm still alive. But in terms of diversity, they need to stop making games that are based on history diverse, because that's not the history.
Is it just one person here? Free kill? Go for it.
Yeah, she is straight up the shinobi.
Ooh.
Oh, she can lay down in the grass. Refill. I love the fact that you can crawl on the bloody floor.
Some loot. Refill rations. We're good there too.
This looks pretty good.
All right, so
I'm trying to get myself hyped up for when I start playing.
To kill him, I can do it with my grappling hook.
Can you do it with your grappling hook? Oh, there. Yeah. Oh, nice.
That is clean.
Now she's got the box that she was looking for. Cool. Let's skip the story because I don't want to ruin myself. Tanks! I love tanks! Wait, so she just kill a deer?
It's all right. Don't.
Oh, that's. Is that the baby deer?
Whoever did this will pay.
Oh. Oh, someone else killed the deer. Yeah, I was just thinking deer was. I thought deer was sacred.
We just gotta confront him.
Never return.
Let's skim through this. I don't want to see any of the story. Don't ruin it. Okay, we're following a little boy. Sorry, guys. Oh, there's a lot of cinematic. That's great.
Assuming I'm safe from them.
The other thing with this Assassin's Creed is they have a lot of controversy surrounding what you can do in this game. Oh. See, that's the thing. That's the thing about diversity. That's exactly what it is. They're like, you know what? History. Yeah, we get Africa, 1500s. They're gonna be king of the tribe. That's pretty much what AC has done. Is they take something historical and go, let's just make them white, black, and just completely reverse role. And you're kind of like, wait, but that's not, you can't do that. They weren't even in that country at the time, or that would be, you know, disrespectful. Just don't. But yeah, as I was saying, there's a lot of controversy around shadows, and that's even to the point that some Japanese officials have said some things, and they disapprove, and they might be taking action against, you know, the people who made this game, because there's some things in this game that's quite disrespectful. I think one of the examples was there was a video of someone as Yakuse? Yeah, what was his name again? I've forgotten his name already. Whatever, the guy that smashes shit. Someone decided to be him and destroy a shrine in the game. And to the Japanese, that is absolutely disrespectful, and some people will argue, oh, but it's so realistic, you break things in a game, it's just making it realistic. If breaking things in a game is realistic, but you can make other shit in the game not realistic, you need to pick a side. You need to pick a side, because you can't be like, yo, breakables in a game, realistic. The fighting that goes on, not real realistic, but we're gonna forgive that. Because making things realistic, like just this whole thing of destroying a shrine in a game, it sort of says something, not about the person necessarily, but what they think about the shrine, and for something that's sacred to a community, that is an absolute no-go. Don't be a dick. And if you think about, there have been other Japanese games that have been amazing, they've been like right up here, and no one has come across and been like, oh, but this game's not realistic because I don't get to break shrines in this game. Nobody's going to say anything really much about that, because it doesn't matter. Having breakables in a game is just a small aspect. Oh, sorry, I don't want to see this. Oh, building!
Yeah, so far, what I like most about this game
straight
right
up
now is her character. Like, I feel like they did such a great job with, like, her story and everything.
I got excited.
It just feels like...
Ooh, let's build. Come on. Come on, Brad. Show me the building.
And I love right.
Okay.
This will build.
What do you got? Oh, you can customize.
Roof, we already did
look,
all that.
we can do the roofs. Oh, you can do the walls. I might be just playing this game just to customize our little safe space.
Let's do this right quick. Just kind of upgrading, essentially. Can I put it anywhere?
Removing
Let
items.
me rotate this around.
So that's your area. I wonder if your area gets bigger.
Concept. I'm actually going to put this here. There we go.
Change it. Oh, he's only got one roof available. Okay, Hirimura. Is that like different?
Build menu. Already did that.
Those different connectable rooms.
We got
Study.
this done. Now what? I think we just exit.
100%. Get this to build. This is what this game's about. Building, obviously. Oh, was that a boo? Where's my building? I think that's all you saw.
Exclamation points.
Okay, this is the people you get to kill. Track a quest. So this is going back to where you get to track who you get to kill.
Assuming we just hold on.
And you take them all out. This is nice. I like this. And then there's your hideout where you get to build. This is fantastic. I am buying this just to build.
Gives you, like, there's different ways
That's a
you can actually play
nice
this game.
looking
So
map.
I'm playing like in the mode where you kind of have to figure everything out. I don't want to like.
I don't think you're going to have mods on console, but I imagine there may be a chance of mods on Steam, but it is a Ubisoft game, so you might be shit out of luck.
Now, tell me.
Where's my building? I wanna know about the building. No, I don't want that shit. No, where's my building? Come on. Is there any... Is that it? I want to know where my buildings are going to be. Here we go. Let's just do this one. This one. Just give it to me. Give it to me. Skip the ad so we can get to the building.
Hey, Hayley.
Me and Drake are looking forward to the
Are your neck
building.
and shoulders feeling tired?
Yes, every day. Yeah, Kiora now. Yeah. Okay, you come along here. Nice little walksy. You come into your big building. Yeah, okay, yeah. Oh. That was too fast, I didn't see it. What? Okay, tea room. No, don't just build a tea. Oh, so they're going out and seeing the tea room. That's the tea room. So you build the building, and then you just come out and look at it. Oh, can you show me more? Show me more. Oh, look at that small room. Oh, it interconnects. Oh, so that's what it meant when it said interconnect. Ingoa. Is that just a... Oh, it's like a walkway. Oh! Oh! Look how it just seamlessly... Oh! Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that. Oh, and then it connects both ways. That is nice. Show me. So look, now there's a black guy. So look, there's the walkway. Ooh! That's cool. I love how it interconnects. It even makes the bloody stairs. This is a smart little building shit. Show me more. There's the roofs. Outfits. Ooh. Oh, you can like put things on display. Oh, that's your gallery. Your study. There's a forge. You can replace the scrolls on display. Yeah, there's your gallery. There's your kimono. There's a little chubby boy that wanders around. Oh, what is this? You're placing deer. Like, do they stand there or do they like run around in your area? Like, oh, you're making like a little sanctuary oasis here. Do you get to feed, or you get to pet them? Watch out for the stego.
You are beautiful.
You are beautiful. Next minute, the stag just like, "Argh!"
Junjiro.
Just fix it like you did last time. It was
Yeah.
perfect. Auntie Tomiko never knew.
I don't like lying to Miss Tomiko.
You're not
Oh,
lying,
this
Wonka.
looks...
You're just fixing the stove. I'm the one who's lying.
This looks nice. Oh.
My grappling hook will get me up.
No, I don't want anything. I was looking for the buildings. I'm sorry, but I'm just here for the building. Gel Raptor. Here we go, look at that. So you got stables as well. I want to see what else. So you do change the roofs. Nice. Does it? Oh, look at that, look at that. Hold on, no. So you can have a set station. What is... Oh, so you can change what's like set up there. Oh, nice.
Is this the best survival game?
No, it's not the best survival game.
Aircraft carrier shelter you seized.
Oh, nice. What's it? He's got a Templar outfit. You can't have that cross on there. Oh, you got tea. Oh, that's nice. Ooh. Oh, look at that. Oh, you're placing a dojo. Oh, nice. Oh, this is going to be fun. Talking with NPCs. Adding pets. So they're considered pets. Oh! You can put cats in there. Deer. What? Foxes. Raccoons. Rabbits. Is that some kind of baboon thing?
You want attention?
Alley system. Oh, I've heard some shit about this lady, but I don't know what they... Upgrading. Oh, weapons can be upgraded. So you just make... Oh, you can upgrade the buildings? Nice. What else can you do? Oh, he looks beautiful. There's your RPG elements right there. Weapon DPS. Exploring hideout. Petting little raccoons. You got a shrine. Oh, changing the floor. Oh, that's nice. That's very dynamic. I love the floor. How it's not like just a rigid square. It actually merges with the grass. Lanterns, customization. Where are you putting that, bro? Oh! You've got a whole garden. And you get to walk around it. Side activity. What's a side activity? Sit. You get to... Okay, what is she doing? She's doing like a Naruto thing. Is she praying? Is she training? Like some mental activity? What does this do? One with the buttons. I think the buttons slowly start to disappear and you just gotta naturally just know. Because you're so in tune with your controller and your gameplay, you'll just know.
I am benevolent to both my inner and outer world, like my father.
Both my inner and outer world. Nice. This is fantastic. This is not AC anymore. Yeah, they've done... I feel like it's so weird, like, they've got a bit of AC, but at the same time, they've taken us a lot out. It's strange. They've got updates. Oh, great. They always put updates. Oh, bro. This is why I haven't played yet, because I'm waiting for the updates to fix the frickin' game.
I'm back in the think tank again, and I'll finally talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows, because I keep getting asked about it. I'm gonna play it, but I'm not a fan of the franchise. Wow, my ass is talking some serious shit right now. I'm not a fan of the franchise, but I'm gonna give it a try and see how it goes. I'm back in the think tank again.
That's pretty much where a lot of people sit. They're not a fan of the franchise anymore because they've been like, so much shit has happened. We've been buggered over. This is the one. This has got to be the one.
Easter sparkle with the lint gold bunny.
This is where we're gonna start looking into
we're gonna go ahead
the
and
issues.
look at this. Is apparently Ubisoft. Ubisoft has fucked up with this so bad that the Japanese Prime
Here we go. This might
Minister
answer some of your questions, guys.
is talking about it. It's being discussed in their parliament.
Yes. This is complete
Japanese Prime Minister
shit.
Shigeru Ishiba is not
They're not happy about some of the stuff they've put in the game.
この今言ういわゆる朝栗問題ということについてお伺いしたいんですが。
Did you hear that? He said asakuri issue, meaning we Japanese keep on talking about this all the time.
Yeah.
So asakuri issue, he didn't explain about.
Are you talking about Moist Critical?
Right? Because everyone knows.
Or Asmond?
Oh, so he's basically what he's saying is that it's so well known he doesn't even need to explain it. Yeah, okay.
3月20日にですね、発売予定のフランスの UBI ソフトの
Okay, well, this also kills my theory that it was actually them discussing live streaming.
Shit.
Because he's discussing Assassin's Creed explicitly, right? So it actually wasn't about live streaming. This is actually about Assassin's Creed. That's what this is about. Overseas, though, early gameplay videos already popped up on YouTube. I watched them, and here's what I saw.
That video that went to really viral. And I was surprised that there's a lot of people.
Oh shit. Little F? Yeah.
So that's what they're talking about there. Is
let's watch it again.
What I've
Sorry
seen.
about that, guys. We'll get back to it.
Video that went to really viral.
Here it is.
They were not happy with that all.
Oh,
and I
man.
was surprised that
bro, he just tore that shit up.
That
One more
went
time.
to really viral.
It may be a minor thing for some people, like just smashing a shrine in a game, but for the Japanese, that's disrespect. It's kind of like having something in a game where someone completely screws over a religion or something and does something completely disrespectful that you would not expect anyone to do in the real world, or if they did, that would be an absolute freaking no-no. And but this is it's completely disrespectful. And like I was saying before, some people will say that this was, you know, this is realistic. Oh, why are you complaining? It's just part of the game. You know, why is it such a big deal? You don't need that in the game. And the fact that someone would go around and do that deliberately, and because it was left in the game for someone to be enabled to do such a thing, that's what the Prime Minister's going on. I mean, he's like, have you seen this shit, guys? This game is like shitting on our culture, you know? What are we going to do about it? And from what I understand, there may be some legal actions if they have not already. Yeah, this just goes on and on. this is
I want to come over
interesting.
here and talk a little bit more about my Assassin's Creed Shadows review.
So
I
this
usually do
fella
on
does a
Wednesdays,
lot
like
of
news
the
type video, but Assassin's Creed Shadow is really all the gaming news this
reviews
week. So
for like,
before you buy
should
video,
you
on
buy
Game
this?
Ranks, I was very critical of Assassin's Creed Shadows to the point where maybe I was a little bit so spicy I took some people back. Like I took some people by surprise. I just wanted to have a conversation a little bit more around this. I'm not defending my review. I'm also not like going deep back.
So let's
into the
find out
review.
why he
If
didn't
you wanna
recommend
check
it,
out,
because
it will be
this,
linked in the description down below. And thank
like,
you.
my
if you did
opinion
already watch
is
it.
Assassin's
Really
Creed
appreciate
is
that.
very
But,
much
with Assassin's Creed
gonna be an
Shadows,
average
I think
game.
there was so much swirling around it, and I tried to just cut it all out, from the gaming culture to you know, the stakes on it with Ubisoft, like financially. A lot of people, like reading the news and stuff, are looking at this game like, is this Ubisoft's last shot? I don't know whether or not that's
kind
the
of
case. The game
what
itself,
people are
also, I had
saying.
to try and shut out
I
some
think
of my,
Ubisoft
like,
will be alright. They're going to
preference
make
for
a
the
lot of
old games
cuts.
I've been playing since the first game. I was obsessed
I
with
imagine
the
it's going to
first
be a
game, and
massive
since then, I've played every single
restructure.
one. And more lately, I've complained about every single one, but like I had to kind of shift away the whole like, oh, the new RPG Assassin's Creed, you know, Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla, they're not like my old games that I love. I had to put all that aside, right? And with Assassin's Creed Shadows, just long story short, again, check out the whole video, but ultimately, I think it's an improvement over Valhalla. There's some really good things in the game.
Yes, I
The
can see
stealth
there's an
is better than
improvement
it has been
over
in
Valhalla.
quite the last
Stealth is
few games.
better.
The world they built, this Japan, is incredibly beautiful. There's some good gore and some good stealth moments.
looks
but it was,
amazing.
like, the story that really fell flat for me, the characters, the bland voice acting, and then just a lot of rinse and
I did
repeat
notice
stuff.
the
I like a lot of just repetitive missions and stuff like that, where I got frustrated.
I did notice the voice acting, which part of the reason why I skipped the story part when we were going through some of the videos is I didn't want to be spoiled, but at the same time I was kind of like, yeah, okay. It didn't take me. There was no... It almost felt like there was no drama. There was no high stakes like some of the other previous installments where you're like, I need this information because if I don't get this information, someone I love will die. Like there was no massive emotion in some of these scenes, and that's where some of the games will fall short. And yes, the Western world has been shitting on other cultures for a fair while now. It's one of those things where they will always take a game or a place and go, let's just put our own little spin on it. But you know, and some people will point out that Assassin's Creed Shadows is nothing new. Like we had obviously Mirage, you've had Odyssey, and those games, no one in those particular communities have sort of come out and been like, yo, I don't like your game, how dare you do this to us? But what they've done different is the Viking one is in a time that is no longer relevant to today. So you're not going to have someone go, this is disrespectful to my Viking culture. Same with the Odyssey. They do touch on some things, but that was done in such a long time ago. I mean, you know, we're talking Colosseum times Athens. No one's going to be like, oh, yo, you can't do that to my culture. This is incorrect. It was such a long time ago. But the only difference with Shadows is that they've, one, taken, basically I would call him the token black guy. They've basically just put him in there. So like I said, there is that one black guy that was in Japan, and they happened to be like, you know what, we're going to take that one special guy and put it in. Let's do that. Let's put the brother in. And then the main thing why this is a little bit different and hurts the Japanese culture is that it's about the destruction of a shrine, which is still present to this day. They still have shrines. They still have things that they care about. They still have pieces of their culture that is still alive today, and that's what they're getting pissed about. And the Japanese also are very proud and history rich. They maintain a lot of that culture. They remember, you know, those days as much as they can. They try and honor their history. And that's why there's a bit of a difference between Shadows and the previous installments, is that the Japanese are still tied to the culture back then, whether it's shinobi, samurai. A lot of these things are still alive to these people. So that's why the shrine thing is such a massive deal.
I was playing it like a podcast game. Now, some of you guys out there might not have these. I personally don't have too many of these,
And then
but I
I
know some
think
people that
the
do
other
that.
controversial thing was
PC
they put a
or on their
lady in
console,
this
and they're
game
grinding through something.
who's
They're
supposed to
playing
be like
game,
some
maybe it's a live
sumo
service game
character,
or not.
and
Maybe
people
it's
like
just some big grindy game.
in
And
today's
they kind of turn off their brains,
world,
flow with it, turn on
women
podcasts,
can't be
turn off the
sumo
music, and
wrestlers.
kinda
Like
just
they still have
drown
sumo
out.
wrestlers, and
That's
they're
not
like,
how I
that's
really play games, but I realized that
you
this game
can't
was
do
starting
that.
to become that because it is so, again,
I know they're
rinse
trying to
and
do the whole
repeat, and
diverse
that
thing,
rinse and
but
repeat really comes
you're
not even
basically
really
taking
from
something
just
you don't
this
like
game and some of the design issues and the
about someone's culture, and you're going, you know what? You need some diversity in your culture, and so we're going to put diversity in your culture. That's essentially what they've done.
problems I kind of went in depth with in that video, but it's kind of also a buildup of frustration with the last couple of games, and not necessarily because they're not like the old Assassin's Creed
Such
games,
frustration.
because
The build-up
there's so
was
many aspects to
getting
them
there.
that just felt so kind of frustratingly by the numbers and bloated and drawn out.
Yep,
for no
drawn
reason
out.
other
The
than to
Odyssey
keep me
was-
playing. And maybe even, hopefully,
I enjoyed
probably
a lot of
Ubisoft
things
probably
about
hoping
Odyssey.
that maybe I would buy a microtransaction or two along the way, while also
Microtransactions,
spending $70.
fuck that shit.
So, you know, Assassin's Creed Origins, I really liked. Obviously, it was a big marked shift for the series, but I thought Bayek of Siwa was really cool. The Egypt setting was cool, and it was different. I was open to different. Odyssey came around, and it was really big, really bloated. But
Yeah,
it was also kind of
bloated.
cool.
I-
And, you know, I had to kind of like, all right, like get over the fact that like Assassin's Creed is changing. Like, whatever. Like, I understand the appeal of it and why
Yeah,
so many people
by
really
Odyssey, I
flocked
did
to
get over the
Odyssey.
fact that it was
And
changing,
then by
but
the time Valhalla came around again, it was like, I get the appeal for some people, but starting to realize that it's not really landing for me. And then
yeah,
now,
that's
here with
exactly how I
Assassin's Creed
felt.
Shadows, that was essentially my breaking point. Other reviewers, other critics out there, I believe SkillUp was the one who really cracked with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. For me, it was with Assassin's Creed Shadows, because even if they put in so much work to make this cool world, and the stealth, you know, has some good moments and some really cool like tools and gadgets and scenarios, and you're cutting people's heads off, I still just kind of felt like I was crouch walking around, grinding, getting treasure, getting loot, doing the same shit I've been doing since, I guess, like Odyssey. And it really felt mindless. And that mindlessness just made
So that's
me not
probably going to
really
be the
connect
massive
to
thing
the game.
when I get
Now,
into this
Assassin's
game
Creed
is
games are never,
if it's
like,
going to
high
feel
art or
like a
anything like
massive
that. I mean,
grind,
you can argue some of them had some really creative stuff.
it's
but
all going to
I
depend
don't know,
on
at
the
this point, like, I
gameplay,
just think the
and
series
if it's
can do so much more. And
engaging
honestly,
enough
and
to
this
keep
is
me
gonna
playing, even
sound
though it's a grind.
weird, or like some people are not going to like this, but like I am a fan of Ubisoft. I have been a Ubisoft game enjoyer for a long time. I've bitched about them like a lot of people, but I also still hung on.
I'm kind of in that boat with them, but yeah, don't go the microtransaction way. But yeah, I'm in the same boat as this fella, because as much as Ubisoft does have some shitty, well, not necessarily shitty games, but games that don't live up to the hype or don't quite hit the mark, that doesn't mean I'm gonna be like, oh, fuck Ubisoft. Ubisoft has quite a few games that are out there. You've got the Division games. I feel like I'm just drawing up a blank here. Besides AC, there's plenty of other games out there that aren't necessarily bad. And even though I kind of gave up on Assassin's Creed well before these fellas cracked, I hit it at about Odyssey. I knew that the direction they were taking, it was not going to be uplifting. Like, I knew they were not going to hit the mark to where I wanted them to be. So, funny enough, on my list of games to play, what have I got? I got Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora. That's on my list to play. And believe it or not, I've got Star Wars Outlaws. Sad but true. I want to play it. Why? Because I do. I don't know. I just kind of want to see for myself. Then they have Prince of Persia. So some of these games are great, but Assassin's Creed has been going down the gurgler for a very long time, and they aren't necessarily going to recover. Its return to the origins did not quite made it. I have not brought Shadows just yet. I was hesitant last week. I was going to, but it was still like 120 New Zealand dollars. So I'm waiting for that discount to come around, and seeing more of Shadows and where it is, like, yeah, it's definitely a 6-7 out of 10. It may scratch that itch for the Assassin's Creed series, but
and I still played a lot of them. I've gotten flack over the years for giving them a pass on certain types of
and
games.
you may be
But
right. Assassin's Creed
it was really
series is gone downhill.
Star Wars Outlaws, you know, obviously with these games, the people really want it to be either the worst game ever made in the history of the world or the greatest game of all mankind.
No, that's not how it works.
The unsexy reality is that, like, for me, Star Wars Outlaws was okay. It had a couple of moments. Okay, cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed
That's
Shadows,
kind of what I'm
same
expecting.
thing. Okay, cool, couple of cool moments.
That's what I knew.
It's fine, I guess.
Ubisoft has hit the point where they're making mediocre games.
I think Ubisoft can do better. I've seen what kind of games they can build when there's a strong.
I think it's going to be the fall of AC as well as the fall of some game series that they've made.
Assassin's Creed Shadows really kind of made me be like, all right, what are we doing here? Next up, let's talk about the sponsor real quick. I'm a big fan of saying yes.
So that's pretty much where we are.
Once again, that from this, brand.
It's an average game, and it's always.
It just feels like Ubisoft has been actively.
Assassin's Creed has always been an average game.
Trying to avoid it
for the last few installments. There's like definitely ups and downs in each one, pros and cons. Someone's always bitching about something. Not enough stealth, not enough RPG elements.
They're not really
the graphics are okay. Blah blah blah. There's still some bugs.
Drip feeding us little Assassin's lore things here and there. Yeah. With Shadows, at that point, with stuff like this, there is like little assassin stuff here and there, but the Animus stuff, I was like to the point where I'm like, what are we doing? Where the Animus, you load into the Animus at certain points, and you walk around as like a digital wireframe body, and you click on some things, and you hear some dialogue in like a digital Animus.
Yeah, that's probably where they're losing people on the boring shit.
At the point in the deal, but anything. Say what you will about, but you're still dicking around this world for 50 to 80 to 90 hours, and there's nothing really there other than the past. With some things, like, yeah, it's fine.
And that's where a lot of people, stakeholders, shareholders, make sure you get your stocks while the market's down. Don't forget, get your stocks while the market's down. And yeah, that's where I kind of sit with a lot of the games that have come out recently. Is they're okay. I'll play them, yes, but they're not fantastic. They're not games that I'll sit there and go, like, I enjoy this game a lot. Let's is play. There are some games you sit there and you're like, I want to play this game, but you have this weird sense of frustration with the game in the back of your mind, and you're kind of like, I really don't want to be here, but I kind of want to play this game because, you know, I've already started, got to finish it, and you're conflicted. And as soon as you get conflicted between frustration, anger for a game, just brush it aside. And I've kind of gotten over 100%ing things a little bit now. I used to do the thing where I would, even if I didn't really like a game, I would finish it. Then, yeah, I have to give up. It's at that point with these new games when they come out, if it's not hitting the mark on majority of things, one, it's got to look pleasing. When I mean it's got to look good, I don't mean it has to be the best graphics ever, because I'm happy to play pixel art games. I'm happy to play small indie games as long as the color palette is there. They've got some charm. It just has to look great for the game and for what it was made to be. Then I'm fine with that. I can go from playing a game like this with very good graphics and nice looking faces to a small sort of pixel art game, and I'll still be happy because it looks pleasing for the game or the vibe that it was made for. It's as simple as that. It doesn't have to look realistic nowadays. And the same thing with the story is, if the story's dragged out and there's not much substance to it, I'm out. If the environment's a little bit not dynamic enough, but I would say it needs to be a little bit dynamic or somewhat changing. And the only thing I can think of is I played Astro Playroom recently, and weirdly enough, Astro Playroom it's a free game, and I enjoyed playing that game. It had dynamic environments, worlds, and levels. The gameplay was very simple, but it was engaging and fun. And also, there was not a major story, but it was a fun little game. A few hours to complete and you're there. Oh, yes. Now that you mention it, Drake, yes, they did have that thing where they're like, you don't own the game, you're just owning the right to play it. I think that's where, I'm not too sure if we're having a disc version of the game. Yeah, a disc version of the game will definitely be an advantage. I know there have been games that have been pulled off the PlayStation Store, and everyone's like, oh, but no, I can't play. And if you happen to still have the disc, you're like, oh well, I won't get updates, but at least I'll still be able to play the game in some form. And I've had only one game like that, and I did make the mistake of deleting the install I had because it was still playable. It just did not have the what was it? I think it just didn't have, I can't even remember what I was talking about now. Why you distract me so much? Just too much things. No, that's right. It did not have the need to be online. You could still play it, and you could still make the things that what it was called Project Spark. It was basically a game where you make games, and the recent game that replaced that particular project was Dreams. Yeah, my computer does not have a disk drive. now that you mention it, I did make sure I got the disc version of the PlayStation 5 because I still have games that I want to play, PS4 games that I play as well. So it's worth making sure you keep a hold of those. Don't get rid of all the things on your cards. Make sure that you keep everything that you need. Because that's the thing. I think this dynamic, or Ubisoft, has basically been blown out of proportion. Assassin's Creed is, at the end of the day, Assassin's Creed is an okay game. It's going to be a 6-7 game. Same with the previous installments, they were okay. Yes, play your Atari, just those plug-in ones. And that's where Steam comes along. You know, Steam's great, but you have the same issue. Steam can pull games off their store whenever they want, and if it's gone, it's gone. Gone are the days where you had disc games, where you would have one disc. I remember having Age of Empires 2, we would have one disc between 3 to 4 players, and all you do is load it on, open up your disc tray, don't close your disc tray, hand the disc to someone else, and then they would load it up, and then eventually by the end of it, everyone's got their copy of Age of Empires 2 loaded up, and that was it. It just needed the disc to load up. Once it was loaded up, it was like, okay, everyone can play a land game with one physical disc. And things have changed so much back then. So Ubisoft being like, you don't own the game because, you're just paying for the rights to play it. That's a fine line to cross because it puts someone in the position where you're basically saying, you're paying just to hire this game. You're paying this one installment to hire it, and if we decide that we don't want to hire it out anymore, we're going to take that back. But do you get your money back? No, you don't. Oh, yeah. Arcade games back in the day. So 100%. This game is definitely positive enough to play it. Is it positive enough to keep playing it? We will find out. It's a game I'm going to have to get into. I have other games to play first, but we will get into AC Shadows. And then we might have to go on a nostalgic journey and play all the other games. Every single one of them. Just to reinvigorate that frustration of older games, as well as to remind us of what games used to be and the expectation of what we expect in games now. Because I can remember, if we take it back to, let's say, Assassin's Creed 1, that did not have all of the shit that Shadows has. It had the story, it had, to me, it would be good graphics for the time that it was made. So the time that it was made, it was good graphics, it had the story, and it had fairly simple gameplay, which you unlocked as you went along, part of Altair's journey, and that was it. The main focus was the story. The main focus was trying to figure out what was going on, and then coming back and getting betrayed by your mentor and going, the fuck is this shit? That's pretty much a good story. I mean, games are... yeah, okay, Drax. Okay, I die well enough in Elden Ring, and the cat games, I've actually finished that one. That's 100%. I 100%ed that cat game. that was my chill game that I wanted to play. Just a game that you could just jump on and just be like, yo, yep, cool. That's why I played that one. But yeah, that's what we're always missing in these new games that are coming out, is there's so much fluff and filler in these new games that it sort of makes the story get forgotten about, and it's hard to keep track on what's going on if you don't keep shoving the story in someone's face. Like, older games are very story oriented. It's always there, and it's always like, oh yeah, here's a story. Here's a story. Whereas these games like this, because there's so much to do, you could avoid the story or main quest for like hours, and then you come back and then do a bit of the story and go, oh yeah, that's right, that's what was going on. I wasn't really paying attention. So if they get the story right, gameplay is the next thing. It literally has to be story, average or acceptable visuals, and enjoyable gameplay mechanics to make it enjoyable throughout. Yeah, stories are also predictable. Automatically you're like, oh, that's going to be a backstabbing bitch coming up. Yes, you're old as dirt. Older than dirt. You are the mites of dirt. But that's where we are at. Assassin's Creed Shadows is gonna be a mediocre game. Ubisoft is gonna make this out of here alive. No problem. They're gonna restructure, but I don't think Ubisoft will be dead. It's doubtful. They're just gonna make more mediocre games. That's pretty much it. I mean, you can't get any more better than that. But no, thanks. Yeah, that's pretty much where we've come to. So if you haven't played Assassin's Creed, Black Flag is going to be the one to play. Then maybe Brotherhood. But if you like RPGs, you might as well just play the latest installment, which is Shadows. You know? Yeah. Ubisoft is cruising in the middle and also throwing their hands out the windows saying, fuck you gamers, at the same time. They're kind of just throwing rocks out the window going, here, take this shit. Now give us some money. Average quality. They can do better. With the amount of money that they put into these games, they can do better. They just need to focus on the right thing. They need to prioritize the right thing in game, which is making a rich content and tight story. So they could, I know they've got like story on their games, but it drags out so long that you're like, just make it concise. Still can't too much parkour. Oh. Parkour was great. No, you've been fantastic, Jack. Thanks for joining me anyway. I've just come to the end of this stream. I think I've held everyone up way longer than I should have. And I think that's, yeah. Like, I just recently started playing, what was it? High on Life. That game was beautiful, engaging, and I'm like, by the end of my session, I was like, you know what? I need to stop playing, but at the same time, I'm like, I can't wait to play again. And when you think that to yourself, you know that's a good game. That's what you want from your consumers. But yeah, brilliant. Okay, now have a break, have some food, have a have a sleep. Good morning or good night to you. Sorry, I have a mixed up schedule. I try and schedule as much as I can. Sometimes I'll only give a day's notice, but I completely forget sometimes, and then I'm just like, yo, let's play. But yeah, no, fantastic. I will leave everyone to it. I need a drink of water. It was hydration, yeah, water. Yeah, it's just hitting on 2 p.m. here. A good, perfect timing for you. No, my stream's going to be all over the place. I am going to try and schedule some over the next few weeks. And the following week, I will be away. Yeah, you don't work, but I do. So you got to fit to my schedule. Don't worry, I'll work for us. You've done your time. Now it's time for you to have your break. You've done your 40, 60 years, 65 years. Nah, fantastic. Anyway, I should hit off and get back into some other bits and pieces. Alright. Good night and good morning to all of those of you, and we will hopefully see you in the next one.